you guys. It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. We're gonna go out later tonight, so...
Yeah, we're gonna do a show probably about 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll hang out with you guys for a couple hours beforehand, have a couple drinks.
Right.
Then we'll have some dinner real quick, and then kind of head out.
Because we're gonna pregame a little bit, but we only have enough alcohol between the two of us to not get us fucked up, so I can drive.
Yeah, gotta go to Mannequins. They're doing theme tonight is Witch's Ball.
Yeah, they're waiting on us.
So
yeah.
But like I said, that's still a couple hours away, and I already mostly got ready. It's just I gotta change out the.
Is there a witch thing? Are you doing a witch thing, or are you just going?
No, I'm just going like.
Yeah, I'm just going.
I don't have a witch thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking about doing green hair, but then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a green wig, but I don't like it as much as this one.
All right.
So that's all I'm gonna do with that.
Yeah, just trying to get the ball rolling. Seeing what you guys are doing. It's Friday. Imagine some of you guys are pre-gaming too. If not, you're just going to stay in. But,
I mean, it is only 6 p.m.
It's only 6 p.m. Well, it's 6 p.m. here.
Yeah.
In other parts of the world, it's all different other kinds of times.
Really? I didn't know that.
It's just, we're on global time. Okay. So some of y'all might be getting ready. It's early in the rest of the United States, isn't it? Yeah, no. Yeah, it's earlier.
Yeah, it's earlier.
So it's probably about 3.
Zach says, well, I'm pretty certain I have COVID. Oh, shit. I hope not.
I ain't worried about it.
But, well, of course you're not worried about it. It's not you, is it?
No.
Tom doesn't worry about anything that's not him.
I looked at who died. It was old people.
DJ Maniac also said, I watched The Acid King on Tubi last night. Documentary about the Ricky Kasso satanic panic murder. I remember that shit. That was all over the fucking talk shows back in the old days. Happened maybe 20 minutes from where I live. I should probably watch that, actually, because... Yeah, I might have seen it. I don't remember, but... Because I did see a documentary about that particular case. I might have watched it before we did the Satanic Panic show. Danny Rowling says a show about famous medieval executioners and their methods of execution would be cool to hear about. Just saying, that actually is a good idea for we could talk about. We could do like a medieval torture episode.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I mean, well, give me my pen, and I forgot to bring my pen and paper over here so I can like write down some suggestions for stuff. Ugh. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down. Just whatever, chuck it over there. We're going to put, let's see, medieval torture. Is it EI? Okay, there we go. Medieval torture. Let's see. Camp Guy says peacocks make a lot of noise. Yeah, they do. Peacocks actually sounds like a woman screaming, like when they make a noise. I think. It kind of sounds, or it sounds like a person screaming. Yeah, Hugo said it's 3 p.m. here in LA.
Is International Donut Day?
Is it?
All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hi David, what's up? Are you going to Mannequins tonight? Because we're going.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We're just getting ready, like, we're gearing up.
Mm-hmm.
Getting ready, seeing everybody.
A bit.
I mean, I kind of feel like, because aren't they changing up I think they're changing up the thing Saturday a little bit, like to make it more like Friday. And they kind of wanted a lot of people to come Saturday too, because they want to show that that's viable instead of just like people having walk-ins and stuff. But,
I didn't know. I thought it was the other way around. Okay.
No, I told you that the other.
Oh, okay. Friday's going to be a little bit more like old Saturday.
No, that's not what I said.
Not what you said?
I said
Friday and Saturday the same now.
Yeah, similar.
Okay.
Similar.
All right.
Well, Saturday is going to be more like Visage used to be, which is kind of like old post-punk 80s.
That's kind of what it was,
like that. Well, not really, because I mean, it started out like that, but then it started going into like other kind of music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because remember last time we went on Saturday, it was
they start playing
it was just
to the
whatever.
They start playing.
That's what I'm saying. They kind of wanted to like not do that as much, so they're doing the thing. Yeah. Dave said, yeah, he's going. The wife has even cooked me up sloppy joes.
Yeah.
Sloppy joes. Yeah, Saturday's Visage reunion nights. That's what I thought. Like, because Tina told me to like make the poster for that, and I was like, that's a good idea, probably. Because I mean, we've been We went on one Saturday. It was like super fun, and it was like every single song was good. But then like the last time we went on Saturday, there was good music early, but then it started getting kind of like, you know, shittier and shittier like as the night went on, like as all the randos like wandered in.
Well, he was playing to them.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I would have done on that particular night. You're trying to get customers, and they were paying. You know what I mean? If they played just to us, you're not expanding the market. You know, you're paid to them damn normies, and they probably made a couple grand at the bar right there just in a few hours. So
I'm sure they did.
Got to keep the fucking bar running. We got our own nights, and that shit passes. They're not in there long. It's like a pub crawl. They come in.
That's the good thing is that at least they don't hang out in there all night.
They come in, they hang out for like 2 or 3 songs, and the fucking bar makes money, and then they split, and it goes back to normal. David understands what I'm talking about.
Slasher Fred says, one of these days you should review either The Wraith or The Crow. I'm pretty sure we already did The Crow.
We did?
Yeah, we did The Crow.
I think we did, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did The Crow. We haven't done The Wraith, though.
Yeah.
I'll have to write that down. Because I think that's one that I was, like, looking at, like, to put in the Patreon poll, but I don't think we got around to it. Because I think I saw it on Tubi or some shit like that.
Crow was good in its time.
Yeah, I mean, it's very 90s, but, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
It pretty much held up. Got a great soundtrack.
It does.
Yeah, it held up. It's just, it looks very dated. You know what I mean? There is practical, it's all practical effects. But, you know, kind of slow by today's standards. It was kind of slow.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I thought it was kind of slow.
I guess.
Well, I have to go back and see it
maybe
again.
you're just developing ADHD in your old age.
Maybe. I'd have to go back and see it again.
Just throwing that out there.
Last time I saw it, I was like, you know, there isn't a whole lot to this. But, you know, we'll see.
Dave said it was random for the Muggles, yeah. Last Saturday it was alternative all night.
Was it?
Okay, so yeah, I thought that they were trying it out for this month, like to see how it was. I mean, honestly, I kind of like, it's harder for us to go out for Friday nights. I don't mind going out Friday nights. It's just harder because we do the show first. So I always have to like coordinate. It's like, should I get ready before we live stream and then just kind of like rush, or should I not? And then we have to rush like after the show's over, and it's like all this other kind of crap. And then I can't drink too much on the live stream because then, you know, I can't drink when I get there. And
I don't remember seeing David at Memento.
I don't think. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, I don't think he's. Well, normally I think he just hangs out at Mannequins, right? I mean, because they had Memento at the new Barbarella, and it was actually like really good. Like a bunch of people came.
Yeah,
a bunch of people came.
Yeah.
So I didn't know
mixed drinks, but
that's okay though. Well, like I said, I wasn't really planning on getting all that fucked up that night anyway. Not like I ever planned to.
It's cans, but they don't care if you go out to your car and fucking slam it. They're out in the parking lot fucking drinking.
I mean, if I'd have known that, probably we would have brought our own, but because most people did, it seemed like. But
it's in the warehouse district, so it's got big fucking parking right there. There's nobody
and
around.
No one's around.
There's no walk-ins. It's private as shit.
I really like that.
Which means
about
that you
it,
could
actually.
you could dress any way you wanted. You know, these girls could go in there half nude like they do sometime for the fucking.
And no one's gonna like bother them.
Yeah,
which is nice.
My recommendation when it comes to buying anything out of the bar, if you don't like beer, which I only like beer if it's like mixed with fucking cider, like stout and cider. Was it Black Velvet? I like that, but it's so fattening though, man. But the only thing that I would recommend out of the can was that Bacardi mojito. It was pretty good. It was weak, but it was good. Real good.
Yeah, I think they're only 5-10% alcohol.
Yeah,
those kind of mixed.
Yeah, and they weren't cheap. They're like $7, and you had to watch it because I could drink a case of those and get only halfway fucking soused. But they were, out of what they were offering, that was the best one.
It was pretty good. I kind of wish that they had. Thank you, Next Dimension Media. Have a shot on me tonight. Well, thank you. We just might do that. I didn't notice, they had a bunch of stuff in there, and I had, I tried a bunch of different things. I had a couple of beers, and then I had one that was a vodka with lime and cucumber. That was all right. It was kind of gross at first, but it kind of grew on me. And I had one that was a gin and tonic. That was Tanqueray, and that was good, but it was real tart. So I could really only have one because I said, I'm going to get heartburn if I keep drinking these. I didn't notice if they had Bloody Mary, though. Because how good would that be? Like a Bloody Mary in a can.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I could slam that shit. I haven't had a Bloody Mary in a long time.
Yeah, out of what they were offering, I'd recommend, like I said, the mojito was good. They had 2 different kinds. I had the Bacardi one. She said the other one was good too, but I didn't have it.
They had a pina colada too. Actually, I was gonna try that out, but then I was just kind of like, I didn't really want to drink anymore.
Pina colada doesn't taste right to me unless it's frozen.
Yeah, that's true. Dave says, I work at Webster Monday morning. I wake up at 3:30 a.m., so Sundays is a no-go. Yeah, that's understandable. And he said I really wanted to go too. Yeah, it was really fun.
It was good.
That's a good place. I like that it was weird because it's not anything like their old location, but I like the location that it's at now. It's almost kind of like back in the old days.
It's fucking huge. They have to fucking wall it off into a smaller area, so it's kind of club-like. It looks like the way it was decorated. It's the size of a warehouse, but it looks like the way it was decorated. It was some kind of fitness center.
It was a sports center for badminton.
Okay, is that what it was? Okay.
It was a badminton.
All that stuff's gone. It's carpeted floors, and it's just the way it's all blue and black on the inside, and the wall and the ceilings are super high, like 50 foot ceiling. I mean, it's 3 stories of ceilings easily. Big. It's just the way it is. Okay, it's all it's just kind of weird. It didn't. The lights aren't really fucking that good yet, but they said they're going to work on it. And he has a liquor license, just that he has to build all the stuff to get to get it to code, so he could use his license.
But like I said, that's not really a deal breaker for me, honestly. It's just kind of like, look, if I go a place and... Well, because remember, for a long time, we used to go to shows at Will's Pub, and they didn't have a liquor license for a long time.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, well, I'll just get beer, or, I would get, they had, coffee stout or something like that. I would get that. So I'm not really all that bothered. As long as I get something to shit, I'll just drink soda. I don't care.
It'd be a great place just for special events, raves, goth stuff, fetish stuff where you kind of you don't want the public around. That's what that'd be a good place for.
Yeah, because like I said, you have to go there on purpose. It's not like people are going to be wandering down the street. It's not an area that people walk around.
Yeah, it's in the middle of a bunch of warehouses.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing really close by that's open even. So yeah, I like that about it because and honestly, like where they used to be, right in the middle of downtown. It was pretty good. Like, yeah, you got obnoxious randos coming in there, but it wasn't as bad as you might think it was, considering how much foot traffic there was. But that's because there was a bunch of other clubs along that street too.
Yeah, and Barbarella, what do you want to call it, had been there for fucking 40 years.
And everybody knew the deal with it.
What it was.
So that's that's that kind of club.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not a goth club. It was more like... It's like an 80s alternative, that type of stuff.
It had everything.
They played different stuff on different nights. They had some indie stuff and things like that. But everybody knew that was the bar for that.
Yeah, it was all the bar for the weirdos.
Yeah, that was like the weirdos bar. Yeah. Like whatever flavor of weirdo you were. It was very welcoming. But so there were some other bars along with other kinds of music. So if you were into that. So you didn't really get too many people just wandering in. Because everybody that was from here,
well, if they went in there, it's because they wanted to see it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not like they were just looking, what is this place? No, they knew what it was.
Greenspark says, Happy Friday, all. Jenny, you look gorgeous this evening. Thank you. Yeah, I got 5% more pretty because I'm going out later.
5% more pretty. Yeah.
5% more pretty. Or 5% less ugly. I guess it could be the same thing.
She's so fun.
It's technically the same thing.
Yeah.
Camp Guy said he made some fried green tomatoes.
Those sound good.
I haven't had fried green tomatoes.
My garden's yielding all kinds of tomatoes, but when it yields them all at once. So I had to turn them into fucking tomato sauce. But it's good tomato sauce. I forgot what tomato sauce made out of real tomatoes looks like. It's orange. It's not red.
Tomatoes from the garden taste so much better than
they're so much
at the
better.
Store.
Yeah, they don't taste like vegetables. It tastes like fruit. They taste so much like almost like a strawberry. Yeah, they're sweet, they're just real good.
I mean, the thing about it too, and I think I mentioned this on the last Sidetracks, is that we got so many eggplant.
Yeah.
Already.
I got a bunch of those coming.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they would grow that fast.
And those sugar pumpkins that I grew?
Yeah.
You don't have to peel them. I just baked them and I pureed the entire thing, peel and all. It just the peel disappears because it's so sweet.
Yeah.
And then I read later they said, yeah, eat the peel. So I said I called it right because the skin is so thin on them. They're not big though. They're only that big.
What you gonna do with them? You gonna make some bread?
I just gotta puree bread or pumpkin pie or something. Or you could I could spice them and then turn them into like a mashed potato type side.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Because it just tastes like sweet potato. But probably.
Or you could do we made a pumpkin curry before, didn't we?
Could do pumpkin curry with chicken. Good. Yeah, I think I'll make bread out of it though.
Yeah, I do like pumpkin bread. That's especially good for. That's especially good for breakfast, like with coffee.
I got all that flour. So I probably make pumpkin bread.
Yeah,
but
that's a good idea.
I'm gonna plant some of the bigger pumpkins. They take longer, but the yield I think is better. Because when it's done, I gotta see what's a good time to plant it. Because when it's done, remember how we for that one Halloween we bought 3 pumpkins on discount because Halloween was over. Remember that?
Well, I think it was just 2 pumpkins. I think it was just 2.
And I baked that and pureed it and put it in that damn big ass 5-gallon container and put it in the back refrigerator. And we ate off of that for 3 months.
Yeah, a long time. We made so much shit with that stuff.
So that means that, shit, 10 of those things is a year's worth of it.
And you can freeze it, yeah?
Yeah, you can freeze it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, 10 of them would be like a year's worth of it. That's if you were eating pumpkin pie, curry, and bread. You couldn't live off of it. It's just supplementary, you know what I mean? But there's not a lot of nutrition there. But it's a component into making stuff. It's pretty good. If you had to, if the world was ending and shit, you could just eat it like you could sweet potatoes.
I love pumpkin, honestly.
Yeah, it's good.
You can put it in everything as far as I'm concerned.
Makes a great soup or stew or a curry.
That's another thing we could do with pumpkin soup. I love pumpkin soup.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Pour it into a glass and just drink it out of a mug. Pour it into a mug. Oh, it's really good.
We did that a couple Thanksgivings ago. That was kind of like while the turkey was cooking and everything like that. We just had pumpkin soup and in mugs and stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember the spices.
Appetizers.
I think I just used cinnamon. I think I just used pumpkin pie spice, wasn't it?
As far as I remember.
Turmeric.
Yeah.
It had turmeric in it.
Yeah,
too.
you gotta put turmeric in there.
Yeah, turmeric and I think pumpkin pie type spices. It was fucking really good.
Tammy said she made a peach cobbler this morning and used Tom's recipe out of the book.
Yes. Yes, it was good, wasn't it?
We made a couple. Well, you made a couple cobblers recently. You made a peach cobbler, and he made a couple berry cobblers.
A couple berry
too.
ones. Yeah, I got those frozen berries. I'm gonna go thaw those things and cook them into a syrup, and then I'm making big sheet pans of it. The recipe I probably gave you is for a small one. I double or triple that up. Okay, to make a big thick one in a bigger pan. Melt a whole stick of butter in the bottom of it so it doesn't stick. Roll it around, fucking pour the shit in there. And
this is why I have so much trouble losing weight.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I got Jenny on a diet.
You got me on a diet. I got me on a diet.
Yeah. So, and I'm really bad at portion control.
Yeah, you are.
I can eat large portions because my metabolism runs so hard because of fucking all the supplements I'm on. I can eat anything and still fucking just.
Yeah, but you were like that before, before you went on all that, and I kept trying to tell you, it's like, look, my metabolism is like molasses slow, and honestly, I feel better when I don't eat that much at once. If I eat like a big portion at once, I feel kind of ill afterward, even though I might want to, even though I might be hungry, but I'm always kind of afterward. I'm always like, whoa, why did I do that? Like I always feel like really crappy. I always feel better when I have to eat, but I feel better when I eat like smaller, like just a couple small portions of something like the rest.
I was resistant to getting fat up until I hit about 45.
I think that's true of pretty much everybody.
Yeah, and then you get about 45,
unless you're really lucky.
And it starts going, damn, I can't get away with what I used to get away with. And then, by the time I was 50 and started working out and getting back in the gym, trying to lose that fucking gut, lose that fucking body fat, I had good results. But going on HRT fucking super helped. And then some of that other shit that I get on, that's good too. I went on cycle today too. I'm going on today. It's going to be a mild fucking rebuild maintenance cycle. But it's going to It's gonna be good. I've been fucking doing work on a core, trying to get the waist down slimmer and fucking the 6-pack. It's coming.
Ian England says baked pumpkin seeds are good as well. Yes, they are. We've done, I think last year or the year before when we had those Halloween pumpkins that we baked, we roasted all the seeds like with maple syrup, I think. Like we candied them.
Yeah, candied them. That works, but they were a little too hard. They were a little too woody. And what I did was I did some research on it and fucking complained about that in my search and came up with a new recipe. Boil them before you go through that process. Oh, yeah, okay, that would help. That would soften them up. Boil them to soften them up. I mean,
they were still good, but...
Yeah, and then let them dry. And then cover them in, put them on a sheet pad, and cover them in a maple syrup. And you can sprinkle any kind of seasoning you want on there, be it, cinnamon or whatever, or nutmeg. Give them a couple little tosses in that little bit of that syrup. It'll make kind of like a sticky paste, kind of like a real sticky oatmeal, and then push them out over a non-stick pan and bake them, and then bust them all up if they're not separated, like almost like a little bit of a peanut brittle. Not as bad as peanut brittle, but and then eat them that way, and it should be a lot better.
Man, I haven't had peanut brittle in a long time either.
Yeah, easy to make.
Yeah, I made it before. I made it in junior high, actually.
Yeah. Really bad for you. Really
it is, yeah, but it's delicious. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that it's like a once a year treat or something like that, like around the holidays or some shit. Just like peppermint bark and stuff like that. Like I love that kind of shit, but I don't eat it every day. Like I just eat it like
peanut butter fudge.
Oh my God, my mom used to make that every now and then when I was a kid. She made the best fucking peanut butter fudge and the best peanut butter cookies too.
I like fudge too, but there's something about peanut butter fudge.
Well, something about like the texture. It almost has like a waxy kind of texture that's like really appeeling somehow. Yeah.
Another one was a maple fudge I had one time. That I didn't go back and look at.
Oh, I got some of that I got some a long time ago. If you go to St. Augustine, there's what the fuck is the name of that place? There's a really old school like candy making stuff. It's been there for like a zillion years, and they make their own fudge on site. Yeah. And they do all different flavors, and they have one that's maple. They have like a maple one, and I think they have a maple one that maybe has pecans in it. Yeah. And it is out of this world. Yeah. It's really, really good. I think last time I was in St. Augustine, I did go there. I didn't get any maple though. I think I got the mint chocolate chip. And they just sell it in like little hunks, like a quarter pound or half pound or something like that. Yeah. And you just kind of slice it off a little bit and eat it. Yeah, Tim, if you made that cobbler, there's a bunch of... I'm sure I just gave you the standard recipe. There's a bunch of other ways where you can round up or round down on the ratios. I don't remember which one I put in the book, but there's one of them where I think it's like 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of sugar, 2 cups of flour. That's another one. That way there's no halves. Like there's no 1.5 cup or 1. You don't need any of that. You can just do them in even places, and which helps you make it's a forgiving recipe. You know what I mean? Well, I think that's why people like cobblers, because it's like, well, whatever fruit you got around, you can kind of like chuck a bunch of stuff, and usually it comes out okay.
Right. So it doesn't have to be exact, okay? So you can get into this thing where, well, I want a big one, so I'm gonna put 3 cups of sugar, 3 cups of milk, and 6 cups of flour, and then I'm gonna put the spices in the flour and mix it up first, and then put the fluids in it, and then boom, there it is. That's another way you can do it. All right. So it is a forgiving recipe. All right. When it comes to the proportions, putting vanilla in it helps. You don't actually have to have the vanilla. There's a bunch of ways you can get around stuff. But I don't remember the exact recipe we put in the book, but it was probably just a basic one that was simple, but just know that you can change that recipe. You can tweak it quite a bit, and it will still make a cobbler. That was just a general guideline. And it doesn't have to be peach. You can take sliced apples that have been cooked and candied in sugar.
See, that's what I like. I like apple cobbler. Right. I like cherry cobbler also.
You can take any kind of frozen vegetable.
I like that more than peach or berry.
You can take any kind of frozen fruit, cover it in sugar, let it thaw. All right, and if it sits in that sugar long enough, it'll turn into a syrup. If you don't have time, put it into a pot and cook it into a syrup. You can even do something like any kind of fruit, including cranberries, sugar, cook it. And then pour that on top of the fucking cobbler mix and bake it. Anything. So don't limit yourself. Even if it was just pineapple. You're kind of making pineapple upside down cake if you do it that way. You could probably do it, come to think of it, you could do it with chocolate. You can make
I guess you could.
You can make a chocolate
It probably wouldn't look all that pretty, but it'd probably taste good.
You could just put a bunch of fucking chocolate chips on top of it and bake it. Yeah.
It would probably look real terrible. It would
look good, and it would look good. It would come up around it, it'd be like a chocolate cobbler, and then cut it out of there and fucking serve it with ice cream. Man, it'd be fucking great.
Danny Rolling says, if we were on death row, what would we choose as the final meal? Ooh, that's hard.
There was one guy they were executing him for killing a bunch of kids. I don't remember what his name was. He was mentally handicapped, and he saved his dessert for after the execution.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
Well, because he wasn't
mentally... No, I'll save it for after. And they were, okay, all right. They didn't need to tell him that there's not going to be
I wonder if one of the guards eat it. Would that be fucked up?
Yeah. Well,
hey, don't let this cheesecake get away, or whatever the fuck it was.
Couldn't fully grasp what was happening.
That's really hard because it's... because I love food and I love like pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And it would be really hard if I had to like narrow it down. I don't know. It'd have to be something that I was like, oh boy, I can eat something without having to worry about getting fat because they're going to kill me.
Mine would be a breakfast food.
Maybe. Yeah, I'd be tempted to. Like, I really, like, I don't know, man. Like some Belgian waffles or something.
Eggs Benedict.
Or something like that. Honestly, yeah. I might, I think I'd go like the old school grandpa route and do like a big ass rare steak.
Yeah, that'd work.
And a big old baked potato. And
that'd work.
For dessert, I want a slice of cheesecake.
Yeah.
And a big old powdered donut with like white icing inside.
That'd work.
And maybe a little, or Boston cream, or both. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to get fat, so I can eat. Of course, I figure if I eat myself into a food coma, then I won't be too like upset about getting electrocuted, or getting the fucking the injection or whatever. But that's like really hard. I don't know. I guess I'm saying like a big ass steak because we don't really make steak all that often. But I love like a big, really rare, thick steak. And I just never get it that much. I mean, it's too expensive, and it's like, and if you go to a steak house, I mean, they way overcharge. So.
Yeah, Tammy said it made a 9 by 13 pan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably what I stipulated in the recipe. But I only have one of those. I got two of the much bigger ones. What are they, fucking something by 24? 12 by 24 pans? You're going to have to double up on it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I make a cobbler, I'm like, well, I'm going to make enough. All right, I might make two. And eat off of them for like a week. That way I have a pre-made dessert and fucking we get a piece. Every meal I make, there's a little bit of cobbler at the end. It's just a whole Southern tradition, fucking, you Southerners fucking know what I'm talking about. It's one of the things we used to do.
But see, that's what I said. I think that's kind of why I have like a lot of struggle with it because I grew up in the South.
Eating that shit.
And it's almost kind of like you had to have dessert. I'm not going to say you had to have dessert after every meal.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like, you'd have lunch, and it wouldn't be like a real excessive lunch. You'd just have like a can of Chef Boyardee or a bologna sandwich or something. And then my grandmother would be like, here, have some dessert, like a little Debbie cake or something.
Yeah.
And then like you'd have dessert like after dinner too. And I'm just like, I really have to stop eating like that because it's like... That's a lot of calories.
Yeah.
It's a lot of calories.
Well, the Southern food is soul food. We eat the same thing. If you go trace back to the fucking real traditional Southern foods, like you have over there at what's her name's restaurant? Down in Sanford. What's her name? Shit, my fucking head injury's got to me. Chantel, yeah, over Chantel's. But you'll see that Southern food and soul food are the same thing. It's just... Southern food is black people food. Black people, it's Southern food. It's the same fucking thing. Okay, so that particular...
We haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah. Black families had slightly different twists on it, but the twists that they would use are not is the same kind of twists our families would use, or there's a lot of crossover. You'd see like, oh yeah, we use that too, and this shit goes all the way back to Depression era, Civil War era. Before that, some of the stuff. So,
well, that's
that
what
cobbler is an ancient recipe. It's soul food too. Black people eat the shit out of that, and so we were eating it too. It goes way back, and you could make that out of canned stuff that went back to the Depression era. And that was the advantage, because in the old South, there was no refrigeration. It was ice boxes. And a lot of people couldn't afford ice. Or they could afford ice, but they lived so far away from the fucking ice house that, it was a pain in the ass to go get a block of ice and put it in the ice box. A lot of people just learned to live without.
Like sometimes, like depending on where you lived, like the truck would come.
The truck
and
would
like
come,
bring like ice blocks, but
some houses were in the middle of nowhere and they weren't on a route for the fucking truck, and it was the same thing with milk. So they were a lot of recipes were designed for canned evaporated milk, or that's how another way you could get milk, evaporated milk, or condensed. They used that too. So all those old Southern recipes involved cans. Because pre-refrigeration.
Well, I was going to say, too, you can kind of understand, particularly, people of our grandparents' generation that were, like, Depression era, you can understand why they made everything of bacon grease and shit like that. It's because they didn't have a lot, so they were kind of trying to, like, make stuff taste better and, like, have extra calories and stuff like that without spending too much money. So they were trying to, like, use everything up.
Yeah.
But now that we kind of have abundance everywhere, it's just you're piling calories on top of calories, and we don't really need all of that anymore. But back then,
back then they called it renderings. And when you cooked things were rendered from it. You saved that. You cooked bacon, you kept the grease. You cooked chicken, you kept the oils and the greases. Same thing with beef. You kept tallow. They did, and then they ended up making other things with that. Renderings.
Like I said, you couldn't waste anything. Which that's a good thing to do anyway.
Yeah.
Like whether you're
eat every bit of that damn animal. Eat every bit of it. The thing is, though, is that if we live in a time of plenty now, if you're constantly eating pork grease and fucking tallow,
you're gonna have a bad time.
It'll build up on you. They weren't eating that much of it because they didn't have as much as we did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of shitty because if you grew up in the South and you had like grandparents or parents or from that generation, you got used to eating that way because that's how they ate. But they ate that way because they kind of had to. We don't really have to.
And when incomes started to go up in the 50s and 60s, they ate just like they did back in the olden days. They just had more of it. More. Yeah. And when that happened, you started having health problems. Yeah. Like my dad was born drinking bacon grease. Yeah. His mama would take milk and stuff, put it in a bottle, and put pork drippings and bacon grease in the damn bottle. Shake it.
Put hair in your chest.
Yeah, well, that was to make him strong and healthy. So,
well, that's what that means.
That's like that's what all that fun. My dad went through a quadruple bypass. By the time he was, in his late 60s.
He has diabetes.
He has diabetes. And they just ate sugar upon top of sugar on top of sugar. Because his mom was Depression era South, and all the recipes were oriented towards the maximization of what you had, and fucking staples like fats and sugars and flour and everything fried, pork upon pork upon pork, cream upon cream. And when the incomes went up, they continued to eat like that, but they expanded the volume. When before it was a little bit that they were eating of that. And too much of a good thing, catches up with you.
And like I said, it's delicious, and you can eat like that sometimes.
Yeah.
You can't do it every day, though.
They ate that 3 times a day.
I mean, you can, but you're going to have a bad time.
They ate breakfast, dinner, and supper. That was the orders that they had. Breakfast, dinner, and supper. And they ate that. Ate that kind of stuff 3 times a day, every day of the week, on the clock, pouring fucking tallow and bacon grease in grits. Just eating that. It is delicious. Absolutely delicious.
It really is good.
Yeah, really fucking good. Heart attack waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And, you know, African Americans have the highest rate of fucking heart disease and fucking hypertension and what do you call it, diabetes. And it's partly because of that diet. Black people still eat like that, and even more so than a lot of people, white people in the South. There aren't as many white people back in certain areas like Mississippi as there used to be. But a lot of the problems that you see, like, you know, we're like, oh man, black people have all this diabetes problems. It's the diet. It's the diet. It's a fucking old school diet.
Yeah, it'll catch up with you.
It'll catch up to you.
Like I said, you can do it every now and then. It won't hurt you, but like for a treat. But yeah, you can't eat like that.
My dad's the same way.
Can't eat like that every day.
My dad he'll take a fucking glass and put RC Cola in it, and then pour a whole pack of salted peanuts in it, and just start drinking. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
That's some old
Although
school
mostly
stuff.
they did it with Pepsi. I kind of feel like most people did it with Pepsi.
Yeah, they did it with Pepsi, but my dad was
because Pepsi's real sweet.
Sweeter.
So the sweet and salty like went really good together.
Yeah. But my dad fucking always claimed that RC was like, that was the real soda. That was like real soda for him. The other shit was fake.
I saw on
like Yankee soda
on YouTube. Company Man did a video about RC Cola like not too long ago. I don't even know. Is it still around? Right? I mean, you can still buy it.
Yeah.
I just think it doesn't have much market share though.
No, they have it over at the general store here.
Yeah,
it's good.
I mean, I don't drink soda, so I didn't really.
It's good. I like it. It's a little sweeter than Pepsi, I would say.
And Pepsi's sweeter than Coke.
Yeah, it's a little.
Although I don't really see. Everybody says that, but I'm not really a soda connoisseur. Like I said, I've never been a big soda fan.
Yeah.
So to me, they all kind of taste similar. I can't really. If you blindfolded me, and I don't know if I could tell one from the other, to be honest with you.
Another one they drank was Knee High.
Yeah, I remember
especially Knee High Peach. They loved that one. My dad got pissed in the fucking 80s when they changed the recipe though. And I remember both recipes. I liked them both, but the old one was more like cream soda with a peach flavor, and then the newer one was like really, really peachy and fucking almost a neon yellowish orange or peach color. It did taste a little more artificial. I liked them both, but the old one and it was sugar on the old one instead of fucking corn syrup.
Did they have a strawberry Knee High?
Yeah, they had strawberry.
Okay, I liked the strawberry one.
They had peach.
I don't like peach flavored stuff though.
The old peach was much better than the new peach.
I remember the grape one being okay. Yeah, although it wasn't my first pick.
It was grape, strawberry, peach, and orange. That was
the orange was good too.
Yeah.
I'm more like strawberry, orange, cherry type person. I'm not really into like peach. Grape, it can go either way. Sometimes grape soda is good, but you got to be in the mood for it.
Only from what I remember of Knee High, it was just fruit flavors. I don't remember them having a cola or a 7-Up.
No, I don't think they did. I think it was all fruit.
Kind of like Fanta.
Man, I used to like New York Seltzer. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Black cherry was good. Dave says, last meal, spaghetti meatballs, lots of meat sauce. That's a good pick. I was actually thinking of something Italian too, but we make Italian food a lot, so maybe that's why. I was trying to pick something that we don't have as much. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then he says, Chantel's has the best catfish. Oh my God.
Who said that?
Dave did.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
All their foods. I mean, their shrimp and grits is fantastic.
The is really
the
good.
Chicken and waffles.
David goes there
good.
too, man. I posted up a couple
because it's right there, like by Mannequins. It's like literally like 2 or 3 doors down.
Yeah, I got some videos of Jenny in Mannequins. I'll show it again, just for you guys who don't know what we're talking about. Not Mannequins. It's up the street from Mannequins, but it's
it's like right there, and it's usually open all night. Now, I mean, if you go in the middle of the night, I think it's open till 4 a.m. But if you go in the middle of the night, they only have a limited menu.
Yeah.
So you can get chicken and waffles, and you can get like a few other things. But if you want like shrimp and grits or catfish or something like that, usually you have to go back in the daytime. But we've been in the daytime a few times, and I got their shrimp and grits a couple times, and they were like really, really good.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a picture of Jenny. There it is. Here's Jenny. And that's at Chantel's, and I'm lusting on her boobs and stuff, and she's, let's see if I'm going, I was fucking loaded, and I'm going, like, I'm going to get some, that's Chantel's.
It went red for a second.
It went red?
Oh, it's okay. It's coming back. Okay.
That's Chantel's. It's a really good soul food restaurant. It's got a DJ.
That's their karaoke thing.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of... Or I don't know if they do karaoke anymore, but they did for a long time.
It's in Sanford.
Yeah, downtown Sanford.
Downtown Sanford.
Like I said, it's only like a little bit away from... It's like right there.
Yeah.
It's not right next to mannequins because they're mannequins and then there's like a lot where you can park, like a dirt lot. Yeah. And then there's one other thing, and then there's Chantel's.
That's us. That's us eating with some people at Chantel's.
Oh, that's right. We ran into...
Remember that? Yeah.
I remember that.
Trying to see.
I can't remember what their names were.
I forgot what their name is. That little couple broke up quick. They weren't around for a while. He moved here from California. She's still around. I've seen her come in and out a couple times. There's another one, Jenny, sitting at Chantel's.
DJ Maniac says I can still get Mellow Yellow in some of those Coke 1000 machines.
Man, I forgot all about Mellow Yellow.
I used to kind of like that. Like I said, I don't know. I just never, even when I was a kid, you know, like soda was just kind of like, meh.
I liked it. I always liked it.
I don't know. I don't know why. It's like sometimes if well, the thing about it is that if that's all that was available, like if you were at someone's house, like for a party or something like that, or if you're at a restaurant and they didn't really have anything else to drink, then I'd be like, okay, well, I'll just get like Sprite or 7-Up or ginger ale or something like that. But honestly, even when I was growing up, I was like a weird ass kid. All I wanted to drink was ice water or milk with ice in it. That's about it.
Lynn was
and
Sly.
Orange juice sometimes if I had it.
Lynn was Sly, who's a fellow. He's a fellow U.S. Army Korea veteran. He's saying that Harvard Yale Humanities 101 course fails in comparison to learning from Tom and Jerry. That is true. That is true. Well, they're gonna fucking not tell you. Another good source of what we're talking about of Southern history would be Thomas Sowell. He's done a lot of little videos and fucking would like expel. He would kind of like fucking dispel a bunch of myths about the way it was back then. He has a lot of information because they tailored a lot after the Civil War. They tailored a lot of the history of the United States to be very pro-union because they're trying to hold the states together. So they kind of left a lot of the story out when it came to the South. And the South ended up just becoming demonized over the years, especially by Hollywood and California and New York. They were the ones that mostly were behind. Let me go to the restaurant.
Kanavatsan says need to make shrimp chile rellenos tacos. That sounds really good, yeah. And you said you sent him the recipe? Okay, well, I'll get him to make it one of these days. One of these days. Because, man, I love seafood. I'll eat seafood anything, pretty much. Yeah, Dave says we go for mannequins closes. We used to as well. We haven't been lately because, like I said, I'm trying not to. Because I have a tendency, like, when I go out and drink, then, like, after I'm there for a couple hours, like, I have a few drinks, I dance and stuff, I'm like, man, I'm hungry. And I always want either Chantel's or I want, like McDonald's breakfast food. Like I always want like a sausage and egg McMuffin or some shit. Cause I like breakfast food, like early in the morning, you know what I mean? For a long time sometimes we'd stop at IHOP or we'd stop at like Waffle House or something like that. But now that a lot of stuff isn't open 24 hours anymore, it's like a lot harder. So, but I'm really trying not to do that. I'm trying not to cause I'm usually so good about not pigging out, but sometimes I'll get drunk and be like, fuck it. I'm really hungry and I just like want something like super fattening. So I've been trying not to do that. Last time we went out, when we went to Memento Mori. Well, I wasn't all that drunk because all I had was a couple of beers and a couple of those little 5% alcohol cans. So I was just like not even buzzed really. But I was kind of hungry, but then I was like, no, I'll resist it. So I waited. I was like, I'm sure I drank enough calories. Just I didn't want to like eat anything else. But you know, so all I've eaten today is a little bowl. Like Tom made some buttered chicken, like a big huge pot of it. So we've been eating like a little bit off that, like every day for lunch. So I just had a little bitty bowl of that. That's all I've had today actually, because I didn't have any breakfast. I had 2 cups of coffee and some gum. That's all I had for breakfast. And then like had a little bitty bowl of butter chicken for lunch. That's all I'm having. I'll eat before we go out though. I'll probably have like some more butter chicken before we go out, like another small bowl. But I'm gonna try not to eat afterwards. I'm sure I'll want to, but I'm gonna try and not. We'll just see how it goes. Because like I said, I've been doing good the last few days. I do feel better when I don't eat as much. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, like, I get hungry and I'm just kind of like, ooh, I want this. I want to eat all the things. But then, like, after I eat all the things, and I'm like, now I feel like crap. You know what I mean? Like, I always feel like really listless and everything. When I eat a lot less, I feel a lot better. It's just hard because, I don't know, because food's delicious. So, you know what I mean? Maybe I need to take that. Remember back in the old days? I feel like back in the old days, they would, wouldn't they give ladies that drug that made all the food, like, smell bad or, like, taste bad or made everything seem, like, unappetizing? There's a drug that does that, right? I thought there was. That was what one of those, maybe it was that AIDS stuff that they used to give them, that little fucking chocolate shit. I don't know. Oh my God. Linwood Sly said, never ate shrimp and grits. Dad just used salt in our grits growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just put salt and pepper and, like, a butter on them.
On grits, I put Tony Chachere's seasoning in them, cheese. You can put any kind of bacon bits, bacon grease, or you can put the damn seafood in it. Man, we got people up north and in other countries onto the damn grit subject. You got people say, Tom, what's a grit again? They try to get me on the
What's a grit?
Yeah, when do grits come in season? What kind of tree does a grit come off of? Just all kinds of grit trees. When do the grit trees come in season? You know, they ask me all kinds of shit. And I'm proud to have spread the grits phenomenon to other countries. And peanut butter. I got Germans eating peanut butter.
I was going to say, we even like spread the gospel of peanut butter. Like to other, I mean, they have peanut butter over there. It's just kind of, and you know, it's a generalization, but I do kind of feel like, I don't know about Europe in general, but I remember being in the UK and people thinking like peanut butter was gross, and I'm like, well, you guys are obviously wrong, because I mean, it's like, you know, they got some good food over there, like fish and chips and all that kind of stuff, but I was like, peanut butter is delicious, and I don't even know what you're talking about. And they use peanut butter a lot in Thai food and stuff like that. So it's not weird. It's not like it's just like an American food or something. DJ Maniac says, you ain't getting the fish fillet after 10 p.m. Yeah, I noticed. And actually, last time, when was the last time? It's been a while since, it's probably like a month or something, since we stopped at a McDonald's drive-thru, like after the club. I think it was like 3 weeks ago or a month ago. And I think it was a Saturday night. So they were open. Because a lot of times now, if it's a Monday night or something like that, then they don't bother because it's not crowded enough. But it was a Saturday night and we stopped. And I couldn't even get, like, a chicken... What's that chicken thing that they have that has the tomato and lettuce on it? Chicken Club? Whatever the fuck they call it. I don't know. But I like that chicken sandwich that has all the veggies on it. They wouldn't even give me that. They didn't have no fish. And they didn't have no chicken. You could just... So I just was like, well, fuck it. I guess I'm getting a quarter pounder. So I just got a quarter pounder and a cup of coffee. I mean, I get it. But, come on. I mean, I was, like, really, really excited the first time. Because ever since, I don't even remember when, I'd always been advocating. As soon as, like, McDonald's went to, like, being open 24 hours, or a lot of them did. I know all of them aren't. But as soon as, like, I was just like, bitch, they should do breakfast all day. Because the breakfast is the best thing. I mean, they're like sausage, egg, McMuffin. I mean, sausage McMuffin with egg is clearly the best breakfast sandwich, and you can fight me. But it's better than the egg McMuffin, sorry. Because I'm not a big fan of that ham that's on there. But, like, I was like, well, they should do breakfast. They could do limited breakfast all day. So they finally did that. And I was like, holy shit, they finally listened. And then they stopped doing it. And I'm like, fuck. After I drink, all I want is, I want a fucking sausage McMuffin with egg on it. And maybe a hash brown, depending. And
some fucking coffee. You grew up on grits, oatmeal, and cream of wheat. I forgot all about cream of wheat.
Yeah, I said cream of wheat.
Cream of wheat. Cream of wheat was good with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, cream of wheat is also good.
You could put maple syrup in it. You could put chocolate chips in it. You could put fruit in it. Sugar. Yeah. I think cream of wheat was also called farina, wasn't it? I think
is that the same thing? I think it's the same thing, or it's very similar.
Something very similar. Yeah, the only problem with cream of wheat is that what's same with grits, when it cools off, you can never really revive it. it just becomes a hard block, and you can't bring it back. So you got to eat it all. But cream of wheat was pretty good. Put some cream in it. Dry fucking coffee creamer would work in it with sugar, raisins. And some people are like, "What the fuck is cream of wheat?" Cream of wheat was like a cereal basically. It came out of a fucking cardboard box or a cardboard tube, kind of like oatmeal would come out of. Maybe with a spigot you could pour it. Depends on what era it came from. You cooked it in water, kind of boiled it, and then you could season it. It was just wheat for.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty good. I mean, you can just eat it plain, but it's just kind of like oatmeal.
Yeah,
it's like you always
boring.
have to kind of put something in it.
Yeah,
Like
everybody puts something.
Like
in
if you're gonna put oatmeal, like if you're gonna make oatmeal, like oatmeal's good, but it's much better if you put like some cinnamon in there. You cut some fruit up, or you know, you gotta like tart it up a little bit.
People outside the South probably would be like, "Well, wow, that's awful basic." Well, yeah, it's basic, but that's what they had back then. Although you'd be surprised how good of a little meal you could get out of that. You wouldn't even think of it. You can spice that up and dress that up into something that's delicious. You know, and that's the whole secret of being a good cook or a good chef. Anyways, it takes something that nobody else wants and turn it into something special. And you could do that with oatmeal, cream of wheat.
Well, see,
grits.
the thing about grits, oatmeal, like stuff like that, I kind of think of those the same way that I think about like pasta or potatoes or something like that. It's like it's like the canvas.
Yeah, yeah.
You need like things to put on there to make it like a work of art.
Yeah,
it's just your baseline.
Europeans and Northerners like, well, what is a fucking grit? A grit is a fucking. What it ends up being is a lot like polenta. It's a lot like polenta. And polenta, especially European polenta, is always going to be spiced. You have like Italian versions, the Greek versions got cheese in it and fucking herbs. And what it is it's made out of hominy. If you see a hominy, it looks like a fucking white fucking explosion. All right?
Like a poof.
Poof. And it's a piece of popcorn.
It's essentially popcorn.
It's popcorn, but it's wet. And what they would do is they would take cracked feed corn. But that's the corn that you give to cattle. You take that and you put it in a fucking 50-gallon oil drum, 55-gallon oil drum. You put water in there with it and a bunch of lye. And the lye breaks it down and fucking chemically and pops it like popcorns. Yeah. Inside this big fucking drum. You know.
They kind of look like curds.
Yeah.
Like if you're from Canada and they have that thing like poutine.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that. It doesn't taste the same, but that's kind of what it looks like.
Now you got this big drum of fucking water filled with fucking wet popcorn, basically. And you can pull some out of there over time, and it's sterile. Nothing's going to happen to that shit. It's preserved. You don't need refrigeration. That's why they were eating it. You can take that and fucking heat it up, boil it in something, and then kind of... you can eat it just like that hominy with fucking salt, pepper.
Yeah, you can buy it in cans. You still can, as far as I know.
You can still buy it.
My grandma had
around here. Salt, pepper, and butter, just like it was popcorn, but you have it as a side dish, like along with beans or rice and shit. Hominy. Well, you could take hominy then, and instead of leaving it whole, you can hit it with a whisk and break it up into like into like a not a mush. It's like polenta. You don't want to whip it till it comes fluid. It's just little bitty pieces, all right? So you take the hominy and you break it up into little bitty pieces by kind of like blending it. Once it's blended, you can eat it like that or you can dehydrate it. All right? Now, they probably in a factory, what they would do is they'd probably dehydrate the piece of hominy. And then once it was dry, then break it up into little pieces.
Yeah, that seems like
That's probably the easy way to do it.
Sure.
I never made it that way. I've just only prepared it. So what you end up with when you get grits is a big old fucking bag, like a fucking 2.5 pound bag of little white things that looks like busted up pieces of rice, I guess. Kind of what it's like. Imagine rice, but instead of grains, it's more like the size of fucking ground black pepper. Okay, but it's white. You boil that in water, put salt, pepper, and
butter in it, and that's a side dish. That's the beginnings of a side dish. And you can season it with cheese and throw shrimp in it or pieces of bacon, or you can pour it as a side next to bacon and eggs with toast for your breakfast. Grits is nothing to laugh at, man. It's fucking good. It's like a corn polenta. That's the best way I can describe it. It tastes like corn, kinda.
But like I said, if you eat it plain,
there's not much to it.
It doesn't really. It just kind of tastes like nothing,
right?
Pretty much. But so you always have to like
nothing
add
with a hint of corn.
Yeah. Like corn paste.
Yeah.
But like I said, you got to put some. I mean, but it's good with just butter, salt, and pepper.
Yeah, it's good enough just like that.
But you can do other shit with it.
Yeah.
It's like butter. DJ Maniac's like McDonald's tried all day breakfast for a while because the stoners were mad they never got up in time for McDonald's.
I know, man.
Right? I mean, and the thing about, what kind of bullshit is that? Stopping serving breakfast at 10:30 a.m. I can't get there by 10:30, and I get up early. Okay, he knows. Yeah. I get up like between 6:30 and 7 every morning. But by the time I get up, get like work done, get shit like that, like take a shower, put makeup on, shit like that, I can't get there by 10:30. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. So
when it comes to McDonald's, that fish fillet Maniac was talking about, get the double fish fillet sandwich. It's so much better.
I'm amazed that that it took them this long to figure that out. Like because I liked the fish fillet sandwich before, but the double one, I kind of feel like the ratio is more correct. Now, I will say that if you get the single one, and this is just, this depends on the McDonald's you go to, I guess, and who's working that day.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, if I get a fish fillet, it has too much tartar sauce on it. Like, I got to scrape about half of it off.
Sly says, Tom never used fruit and cream of wheat. You are correct. Yeah, you are correct, sir. And he gets it all the way up in Philadelphia. Yeah. What happened was fucking after the Civil War, when black people migrated north to get out of the South, and they took their diet with them. And when they got into the North, they called it soul food. But back in the South, it's just Southern food. But no, you can eat it with cream of wheat. Is fucking great with fruit. I don't know if you ever had it, but any kind of berries or diced up pieces of apple that have been fucking cooked and caramelized with salt, with sugar and cinnamon. You know what I mean? You cube it up, cook it in a little bit of butter with cinnamon.
Well, that's my favorite thing to put into oatmeal. So it's pretty much like the same thing.
Just like oatmeal. And drop it in there and just kind of swirl it in there. So you got swirls and put a little pat of butter on top of the bowl.
Apples and cinnamon.
Yes, indeed. Now, you don't want to do that first thing in the morning. Okay? You want to make that apple, that fucking, what do you call it? Your apple topping is basically what you're talking about. You want to make that a long time before, and you want to keep something like that in the refrigerator in a Tupperware container or jar. Okay.
I was watching one of those videos the other day about eat for $5-10 a week or something, and the girl on there, she's like, I found this recipe on like fucking TikTok or some shit like that. And she was trying to replicate, I don't know if it was Dunkin' Donuts or somewhere, but she's like, they have these little breakfast things. They're like little balls, but they're like apple cinnamon, like oatmeal balls.
Yeah.
And she's like, they're pretty easy to make, and you can make them ahead of time, and then like just freeze them, and then like so make like a whole bunch like on Sunday or whatever, and then like get up in the morning and you can just kind of like heat them up and have a couple with your coffee or whatever. And they looked like really, really good. I can't remember what fast food restaurant does them though, because like I said, I don't really.
David Parker goes, Farina with sugar. Well, finally home from work, gonna get my sloppy joes. So I'll be with all manwich ready for tonight's witch ball mannequins. Mannequins. Gonna try to get a quick nap. Love you both. Maybe Jenny Moore.
Yeah,
we'll see
you later.
Jenny said, Sly says, I get the fish sandwich. Take the cheese off and just use the tartar sauce, and then that's fine. Sly goes, polenta, trying to donate to you guys. Channel, instruct me how to. I'm old school. If you're set up to do a super chat, you can send us a super chat, but I don't know if your account is set up for that. If not, you can probably the other way would be go through Patreon. No, you can't think you can do a one-time thing.
No,
you can contact Jenny at her Facebook,
and send her money to her what do you call it? Her
PayPal.
Her PayPal.
Yeah, because some people have done that.
Yeah, actually, you could probably give your PayPal just over.
Well, I'd have to give my email address.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I'd have to give my email.
She can send you a way to do it.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Sly. I don't know if you ever heard of this one because you're up in fucking Pennsylvania, or is it Philadelphia? Is it Philadelphia or Pennsylvania?
Well, Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, he said it was one or the other. Okay. Anyway, we have something here called apple butter. We should be a part of. That should be a part of soul food. That should be up there by now. It's kind of like cooked pureed apples that you put into a jar. You jar it, and we used it as a spread, kind of like jelly. It's kind of like cooked applesauce, spiced, really good. I don't think I've ever seen it sold in a store. You could probably buy it around here.
I've never really looked for it, so probably. And you would think that
apple butter.
Well, you would think that for example, like states that were really known for apples, like Washington State, for example, you would think that
they would
probably like sell that. I would imagine, because that seems like a pretty widespread thing.
The old generations of the South were real big on apple butter. If they saw you using jelly, they'd kind of look at you a little bit sideways. You sure? You sure you're gonna get jelly? We got apple butter. You know what I mean?
And that's like the real thing. That's clearly way better.
Yeah.
I mean, jelly's good too. It's all good. Like I said, all food is pretty much delicious.
It was
not all food.
It was a thing of ethnic pride, though. They were like, "You're gonna put jelly on that? We got apple butter." It's like, oh, okay.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah,
are you a communist?
Right, you must be a communist. Because they'd put apple butter on a peanut butter sandwich.
Sounds like some shit my grandpa would say.
Yeah, you must be a communist. Yeah, because they put apple butter on a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but it's apple butter.
I had that. I took that to school a couple of times, and I knew like some other kids that took that as well.
Yeah.
Usually, I had PB&J though.
Yeah, I like it with.
This is what a weird kid I was. I liked, I would take PB&J sometimes. I liked for my mom to make grilled cheese sandwiches the night before and wrap them in wax paper and put them in my lunch so they were nice and kind of cold and greasy the next day. I don't know why I liked that so much, but I liked cold grilled cheese sandwiches in my lunch.
Sly said that fucking, I'd heard of apple butter. My grandmama put it on white toast. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. First time I saw it, my grandmother gave it to me too. And man, it was good. And they made it. And so if your grandmother, and being black, if your grandmother and your mom gave you that shit, it is soul food then. That's what it would be called up north, soul food. In the South, it was just food. But that was making me want to make apple butter. I haven't had it in a long time. It's good.
Maybe we should.
Yeah.
I really like.
Got to go down and get some apples, cook them up, make apple butter out of it. And because it'd be a lot easier today because I have fucking immersion blenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a cooked apple. You fucking blend it. There's your apple butter. Yeah. Put that bitch in a jar. They were jarring it though. They put it in a damn mason jar and fucking cook it inside the mason jar again and kill all the bacteria, and it would just preserve like that. Say.
Well, that's how you pretty much
preserve anything. But they were preserving it. It was a way of saving an apple. And that was Southern jelly, basically, Southern jam.
Gramthars says, old Polish men in Michigan love head cheese sandwiches.
It's good shit. They have fucking head cheese down the South, too. Yeah. Louisiana head cheese is some of the best.
Yeah, my grandpa liked head cheese.
Oh, shit was good.
He liked head cheese, and he liked scrapple.
Scrapple.
Like, he would eat scrapple on sandwiches also.
Some people go, what the fuck is...
And he's from Tennessee.
They're like, what the fuck is head cheese?
Or he was from Tennessee.
Head cheese, you take a fucking head of a hog, and you fucking cook it down and spice it, and then once it's all cooked, you pull all the meat off the damn skull of that head, that pig, and it's all chopped and diced, and it's turned into a damn loaf. And then you cool it.
It's a pig head loaf.
It's a pig head loaf. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, And then it becomes kind of gelatinous, and you slice off slices of it and put it on toast and eat it cold. Oh man, it's good.
Well, I mean, you do that. I don't do that.
Oh, it's real good. If the spicing's correct, it's better than fucking any fucking cold cuts.
I've had it before. I'm not a fan. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just not anything that I care to eat again.
I love it. I liked the Louisiana versions of it because it was spicy. And it was like, if you like cold cuts, like ham and cheese sandwich, you'd like head cheese. All right. It's even better than ham. It's just like, whoa. And same thing. Cheese, mayo, all that. Real good.
John Gora says the Hitchhiker's Fave. Yeah, from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. Head cheese, by the way. That was, if you remember.
Yeah.
He got in the van and was talking about head cheese.
It's diced up and turned into a loaf, so it's not like... you don't ever see pieces of anything off of a head. You know what I mean? It's not it's just, that's where
little eyeball staring at you. How funny would that be?
Yeah.
They should do that just for shits and giggles. It's like it's not a real eyeball.
It's the same way they make salami. It actually, salami would be worse because it probably has fucking guts and intestines in it and shit. At least the stuff that's coming off that fucking head is meat.
I mean, it's no... when you think about it, really, technically, it's no weirder than, like, a hot dog or a sausage.
Exactly.
Because they just, like, grind up whatever meat's left over, like snouts and whatever, and just put it in a casing. Right. And I eat hot dogs and sausage.
Right.
But...
It's less disgusting than a hot dog. It's a lot better quality. Real good.
Was that Kids in the Hall that said that, that hot dogs are made of what? Lips and assholes and old phone books and shit like that? Gramthars said, head cheese gives you poop breath, just saying.
No, it does not. No, it does not. No,
well, you would think that he would know because they eat that shit like up there.
Well, maybe
I've never really smelled anyone's breath.
That might be this.
I never got close enough to my grandpa after he ate head cheese.
That might be the spicing that they're using up there.
The poop spice.
In the South, no, it was just like, it was good.
The member of the Spice Girls that nobody talks about.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's poop spice. She's the scatological member of the band.
Camp guys saying cooking it down, milk and a half regular price, heavy cream, double. Okay, I don't know what he's talking. Camp guy's talking about fucking mixed apple jelly into the peanut butter, cook it down for hours. Okay. Do they sell apple butter? I'm gonna buy yours, Tom. You can probably buy apple butter. You just have to look for it. You probably order it.
Tammy said, look around peanut butter and jelly section of the grocery store. Should see apple butter there. My white northern family has eaten it forever.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I kind of feel like nowadays...
Everything is everywhere if you look for it.
Everything is pretty much everywhere. There maybe are a few, like, outlier things that are regional, but I kind of feel like that's not really the case anymore. Just particularly, like I said, because of the internet and because of everything. Yeah. And like I said, everybody's foodies now. Yeah. So everybody knows everything about everything. So
the information has gotten out.
It's easier to get shit. I mean, because shit, it was like hard to get what they call ethnic ingredients down here in Florida. Like when I was a kid growing up. Like I said, if you wanted Chinese food, it was like that La Choy shit in a can.
Right.
And if you wanted like Mexican food, it was like the Ortega or whatever, like the boxed taco kits.
Terrible shit.
That was about it.
Not now.
But now you can get pretty much anything you want.
Yeah, we're kind of at the edge of the city. You can go right up the fucking road, fucking 2 miles up there, and we can have a sushi fucking meal. Like we even post a video on it. It's better than anything I used to get in Boston when I lived in Boston. Better than that. For a fraction of the price, and it's nice in there. All black and red and fucking looks like a damn Japanese pagoda.
I like their shrimp tempura.
Yeah.
Like in the bento box with all the... That comes with like a couple sushi rolls too. It's good.
I don't think it's Japanese people working in there. They're probably Chinese. But fucking it's good. And,
I mean, whatever. As long as the food's good. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care who's working in there as long as
bunch of white girls, waitresses, big old booties. Fucking slide love it. Whoever runs that place, fucking whatever Chinese dude runs that place, you got to be a big booty country girl to be working in there. Did you notice that, Jenny?
No, I didn't.
You didn't notice it? They're all big.
Why would I notice something like that?
Yeah, well, I know you sometimes partake, but I just thought that maybe you'd like notice like all these girls.
Well, it's not usually so. I mean, like I'm in a restaurant, I'm just like thinking about what kind of food I want to eat. I'm not like thinking about like people's butts.
I'll point it out.
Next time I said, Jenny, look at that. I said, Jenny, look at that girl's fucking
It's not
ass.
really. I have lots of other things on my
Big
mind.
old, big, little waist, big.
I know
boobs.
dudes are kind of just like, you know, this
Yeah.
much of their brain is like concerned with like
Yeah.
boobs and butts, and like everything else is just like
Yeah.
in this very small area right here.
Right. This
But I
area-
have like a whole bunch of other things going on.
This area is all farms, horse ranches and cattle farms, with rich people that own mansions. Someone right over there is all hidden. It's a lot of these rich motherfuckers you don't even see. You go in there and like that, and fucking mansions, just hidden in them trees. It looks like a fucking forest with a discreet entrance, and then you go in there and it's a housing development with mansions.
Well, you shouldn't go in there because you might get shot at.
Like, yeah, it's mansions, and they're
Who are you, Outlander?
and they're the houses of fucking people that are millionaires that live in damn New York and California. Have houses here, sometimes lots of houses here, and they want all their shit. The economy here is pretty much thriving. It kind of reminds me of Vista in Oceanside, California, back in the '70s when I was a kid. That's kind of the same kind of environment. It's a mixture of English towns like over there, and then like Spanish style stuff and Spanish towns, but because of all these farms, you have farm girls, and then you have a lot of legal central. We don't really have illegal immigration here that you can see. The ones that are here, they're all legal, and they're fucking working in these farms, working with animals, and chicken farms, fucking cattle ranches, and horse farms. So there's a whole network of Mexican and Central American stuff here. They got one of the best Mexican restaurants I've ever been in, right over here at this Mexican store just up the street. Man,
What's the name of that place, by the way?
Fuck, I don't know.
I never look at the name of it. It's just like in a strip mall.
Yeah.
Like on the side of like a country road. It's like a grocery store too. Like half of it's a
Yeah.
grocery store and then half of it's a restaurant.
Yeah, it's owned by a Mexican woman, and her son runs it most of the time. I was hanging out with the son. Son's into he's into bodybuilding a little bit. He's in his early 20s. And, man, you talk about guacamole, the best guacamole ever. I was showing pictures of it to Kana Vatslan. Pictures of what they were serving. He goes, yeah, that's it. It's a real thing. You can go get Oaxaca cheese and all the real Mexican ingredients. They're all in there.
I'm going to have to go up there. I haven't eaten there in like years and years.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive. And every day I was in there eating, and fucking like 50 dudes came in there and eat one by one, getting little bags, plastic, and then running off, and they were giving them lunch. They were selling them like a daily lunch.
Yeah.
In a paper bag to take out, and because they're feeding all the ranch hands around here.
Maybe they have like a contract or something like that where there's just kind of like, yeah,
Yep.
we'll make this many lunches for the people like for X amount of dollars.
Yeah,
or
they
whatever.
all came in at the same time, like about 50 of them.
And pick it up.
And I was looking at what they were getting, man, and they were getting really good, like stews and soups and pieces of bread and like a piece of chicken and some rice and tortillas, and they're making tortillas in there. They make their own corn tortillas, and it's like hot. I'm in there. I'm the only white dude in there, and all these Mexicans and shit. You know what I'm in there eating, and we're just looking at each other, going, "Damn, this shit's good." And I say, "Es bueno." And they're like, "Yeah, muy bueno." You know, fucking they're eating it too, man. Fucking, it's good. Like being in Mexico.
Man, Mexican food's so good.
Yeah.
Most food is good. But
their
like,
authentic shit is good.
Mexican food is
yeah, but they have al pastor and all the different kinds of stuff, you know, and anything you ask for, you know, they have specials, and the prices are reasonable, real reasonable.
One of these days we'll go back and eat up there. Like you've eaten there a couple
I've eaten there
times,
a
like
couple times
when you were out, because
Yeah.
when you were like out on a ride and stuff.
Or
It's just we never really go up that way. I don't think I've eaten there since
that girl was with.
Since that girl was here.
You'd love it. It's
and that
better
was like
now.
a few.
It's much better now.
Yeah.
It's a different chef.
I mean, it was good then, but
it's a different chef, and his motherfucker's great. Great.
Leardo Dude says, a bear took Scrapple out of my ice chest once. I was like, good on him, because he did me a favor. Why'd you even have it in your cooler in the first place? Why'd you even bring it with you if you didn't want to eat it? I don't know. I'm not hating. Like, I don't, if people want to eat that, that's fine. Like I said, my grandparents used to eat it. My grandma used to eat. Remember, they probably still have this. I don't look, but they used to have, it came in a can, like calves' brains in a can, and like you ate it with scrambled eggs, right? Like calves brains and scrambled eggs. I don't think the scrambled eggs were in the can, but you could, like, the calves brains were, and you just mixed it with scrambled eggs. And my grandma loved that shit. She always had like cans of that in the cupboard as well, and we always had like scrapple in the fridge because my grandpa was into it, and I was just kind of, I don't know, just something about it kind of grossed me out. Like I said, you know, logically it's not any different than a hot dog or a sausage, but I don't know. I just couldn't get behind it. I can't get behind it. I think this is why I don't like Spam. I don't really like a loaf of meat. I mean, well, okay. Maybe that's too much of a generalization, because I do like meat loaf. Although I didn't when I was younger. But that's technically not a loaf. I mean, you make that into a loaf. It's ground beef, and you make that into a loaf. I'm not really into, like, that gelatinous, like, where it's kind of... See, I think that's what grosses me out about Spam. It's like that, in fact, you open a can and then just like plop. I'm just like, it's not super appetizing. And I kind of feel like maybe that's why I'm kind of grossed out by scrapple and stuff, even though it's the same shit that's in like a hot dog and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of other things to eat. I'm not gonna eat that. But you can eat it if you want. Kevin says Tom cracks me up. Yeah, he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. Okay, Gramthars says there is an El Salvadoran pupusaria, is that how you pronounce it? In Detroit. There's stuffed flour pancakes with cheese, pork, and jalapenos. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. I don't think I've ever had those, but that sounds really, really good. Yeah, Blairdo says I was trying it camping. Did you think it would taste better, like, when you were outside? They were just like, well, this is probably, like, gross, but maybe if I take it outside and, like, eat it while I'm camping, then it'll taste better. But the bear ate it, so you didn't even get to try it. Did you try it later on? That's what I'm asking. Holy shit.
Now, Tammy said that her Irish-Italian grandma used to can apple butter, so, yeah, and I guess that's up north, so, yeah, it's spread around now. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's really difficult to find anything that's regional. Although, you know what's interesting is, here's one thing that I always find really interesting. I kind of feel like some restaurant chains, fast food chains, you know, casual dining chains, are still regional.
Yeah.
Stuff like Carl's Jr., like Jack in the Box, stuff like that. We don't have those. Like, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I miss Carl's Jr.
But we don't have those. Although, Carl's Jr. is owned by the same company that owns Hardee's. We have Hardee's.
We have the Hardee's.
I think that's kind of like the southern equivalent.
Yeah.
Although the few times, it's not as good. Hardee's is kind of like the redheaded stepchild version.
Carl's Jr., when I was a kid out in California.
Or at least the one that was by our house used to be.
It was good. They used to have deep fried burritos there. It didn't taste anything like a burrito, just like a deep. And those fuckers were awesome.
Man, you could deep fry pretty much anything, and it's delicious. I don't care what it is.
So I don't know what Carl's Jr. is like now, but back in the 70s, early 80s, Carl's Jr. used to be really good.
Yeah, everybody kind of talks about
Del
it.
Taco. We have one here.
There's two. There's one over by UCF.
Yeah.
Because me and my friend Jen used to go there when I used to live over there in Winter Park.
I went to it. She took me to the one here. It was really good. Del Taco used to be shitty when I was a kid. In the 70s and the early 80s, it was shitty.
I like that they have tacos and french fries.
Yeah. Del Taco used to suck.
No, Del Taco is good. But like I said, we only have two of them, and the ones that we have, the one that we have here, like, one's way the fuck over by the college.
Yeah.
Which is where my apartment used to be, like, a long time ago. It was kind of close to that. I don't even remember what the other one is. I think the other one is over on International Drive or something. It's like really far from here.
Another one they used to have in California as a kid, they showed it on fucking that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie. It was called Der Wiener Schnitzel. That was a California thing. They weren't good back then either.
They did like a famous... Well, that's where all the punks used to hang out.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
There was even a song about that called Wiener Schnitzel. Who was it? The Descendants? Was it the Descendants? Yeah.
It was like McDonald's, but it sold hot dogs. And not good back when I was a kid, but they were just everywhere. So you kind of went just to get it. It's like a thing of opportunity. But that one that they showed, I used to pass it all the time when I was a kid.
It's kind of like culturally famous. Yeah. I mean, because even I heard of that shit. I think I heard of it probably because of the Descendants song. and because it was like a big like punk rock hangout. The weird thing, here's what's weird to me. Like, look at all of the fast food places that have thrived over the years selling burgers and like chicken sandwiches and shit like that. You don't really have one that sells hot dogs, though.
No, it's a loser's game.
And the thing about it is that even some big fast food franchises like Burger King, I don't know if McDonald's ever did, but like I know Burger King did for a while. I think Wendy's tried for a while. Like they tried to do like a hot dog, and it never works out. And I don't know why.
Because hot dogs are something you buy at a baseball game, or there's something that you buy,
or that you grill them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've eaten many hot dogs just like from a cart, like outside the club.
That's what they're for. That's where
shit, like across the street from Ibar, Barbarella.
Yeah.
For a long time, there was a guy that he made vegan hot dogs.
Yeah.
And he set up over there, and they were actually pretty good. You know what I mean? The texture wasn't exactly like a hot dog.
I was wishing it was meat, but I was eating it because I was drunk.
But well, and if you put enough good toppings on it, you didn't really notice it all that much.
It out,
yeah, you were just kind of, and it was still good. So I wasn't really bothered. But they had like real ones too, and actually the guy that was like right next to the door of Barbarella for a long time, he had like this really good like kielbasa type sausages. Those were good too. But I think they regulated it. I think that City of Orlando brought in that law where you couldn't do like the food truck thing anymore, which is dumb.
I'm gonna tell you guys something about this.
That's dumb, because used to be
the food trucks would show up.
And they'd have like the taco thing, and they'd have the hot dog guy, and like the sausage guy,
the cake guy.
The cake guy. You could come out the club, and there was like all like little like carts everywhere, and like you could eat, but they stopped doing that.
They said no, you can't do that because they were beating out all the fucking restaurants that were paying rent in the downtown area.
Yeah, so all the restaurants were mad.
They were better. Because people would fucking go to the truck instead of people who were paying rent in downtown. So they complained, and that they could still have food trucks, but you couldn't take them downtown.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to.
They could only go certain areas. There was a really good pizza truck with a fucking super hot furnace.
Yeah, I think it was called 5,000 Degrees or something like that. It had a name like that.
And you never really knew where it was. You just see, there's the truck. You know what I mean? There it is.
Well, the thing about it, because for a while, you had to be on their Facebook page, because for a long time, I don't know if it's still around, but in Orlando, there was a really famous like cupcake truck.
The cupcake, that's what I meant.
And they would do a thing where it's just like they would do, I think 2 or 4 like different flavors like every day, and they were just like crazy flavors, but they would always like move around, and you had to be like on their Facebook group to like find out where they were going to be that day. But they got like super famous, and they made like all kind of money.
For a while there, I guess that's about 6 years now. For a while there, you didn't want to own a restaurant in Orlando. You wanted to own a truck.
Or like a cart.
A popular truck that had a following, kicking fucking ass. And they would go right outside a club.
Because
waiting in ambush, and
that
come out
vegan hot dog cart, vegan hot dog cart
did
a pretty brisk business. after the bars closed.
Yeah, he was just a little guy. A cart.
It was a cart,
just a little cart, and he'd stand outside a club and fucking sell that shit.
But he was the only one doing that.
Yep,
he was the only one doing that, like doing vegan hot dogs. Now, like I said, the guy that was next to Barbarella, he always like set up right between Barbarella and that club next door.
Dude once, so I stopped going.
Really?
Yeah. He was selling fucking
did like sausage, like kielbasa,
kielbasa dogs, and fucking ate. It was good, but I ate one time and fucking threw up 20 minutes later. I was like, fuck that, I ain't eating that no more. You got the fucking best cleavage going on here, Jenny. Hold on, let's see what's going on here.
See, he just gets like all distracted. You can't even talk. He
I'm
gets
looking
like
in the
all
camera,
distracted.
and all of a sudden I'm pouring the fuck out. It says, man,
he's pouring the fuck out. That's what he's doing.
I'm pouring the fuck out. Well, I took my injections today. So.
Oh boy, you're gonna be like hard to put up with.
Yeah, and it wasn't just one; it was 2 of them.
God damn it!
Because Dianabol came.
Yeah,
I'm on a slight dose of Dianabol. Super testosterone.
Great.
Yeah, I'm feeling.
Don't be starting any fights.
No. I'm feeling kind of slick, a little bit, kind of oily.
Ew.
Tomorrow, nice and moisturizing. It's coming. I can tell it's coming.
Gross.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna be feeling so fucking good. I'm gonna run that for 60 days. And we're going to see, I'm going to pick up a couple pounds of muscle and lose a couple pounds of fat. I'm going to recomposition. I'm going to be hitting that fucking gym over there a lot. I hit it last night. You heard me? I hit the fuck out of that shit last night.
I don't know. I was watching Stranger Things, dude.
Yeah.
DJ Maniac says Der Wiener Schnitzel was a West Coast thing. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
died in the 70s. So did Benny Hanna.
Yeah.
Nathan's was the last hot dog franchise.
Kobe.
Huh?
Kobe's like Benihana. We got Kobe's here.
Yeah. Nathan's was the last hot dog franchise, and even they dried up here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I thought that we still had a couple Nathan's, but the last one I saw was in the airport.
You don't go to a
I don't know if it's there anymore.
You don't go to a restaurant to eat a hot dog. You just don't. That's something you do at home or at a baseball game or on a street,
or at Sam's.
out of a cart or out of a car.
Like Sam's Cafe in the front.
Yeah.
They got hot dogs.
Yeah.
I think they're like $1.
Yeah, slice a damn pizza out of the thing. It's just like that.
Another chain that I kind of wish that a lot of people sort of like rhapsodize about that we don't have here is Culver's. Yeah. Now, if anybody lives anywhere where there's Culver's, let me know if it's as good as everybody claims, because pretty much everybody that lives somewhere where there is one is just like, oh, Culver's like wins, like hands down. Yeah. But I've never eaten there because we don't have them. I think it's a Midwest. Is it Midwest? I don't know, but it might be like a western part of the so there is some things that are still regional, like in the US, like some restaurants, like restaurant chains and stuff.
Yeah.
Do they have Steak and Shakes out west?
Yeah, we got them here, man. They're always packed.
I kind of feel like they don't.
Yeah. Steak and Shake's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
I mean, their burgers it's more like smashed burgers, but they make everything fresh. Their patties aren't frozen, and their milkshakes are phenomenal.
Yeah, although I would say
their French fries aren't fantastic. They're like shoestring fries, but they're okay though.
Although I say the best hamburger joint we have here in Florida is Five Guys.
I think they have that everywhere.
Yeah, Five Guys.
I think they even have that in different countries now.
And you can have all these fucking more French fries than you can fucking eat. But
see, my tip if you're going to Five Guys, just order the small fries.
Yeah.
Because they're just gonna dump them all in the bottom of the bag anyway. So it's like, don't pay for the large
They're trying to get rid of all them damn fries.
They're like, we have so many French fries. And they make
we need to go. We haven't been in a long time.
I think they make their own French fries.
Yeah, they make them right there. They got the fucking bags of potatoes sitting right there. That's why they're trying to get rid of them all. They're like, here, man, give them fries. Give them fries.
Yeah, so it's like, because sometimes I've gotten like small fry, which is like that big, and like you go in the bottom of the bag and it's like half full of French fries. I can't even eat them all, and I love French fries.
Yeah.
So, and their burgers are big and sloppy.
Now here's something else. This may be part of the fact. Me and Jenny have the goth factor. Okay. The kids that work at all these restaurants fucking love goths, so you just show up, they give them some free food. And sometimes there's more. Sometimes there's more. Old goth people get all kinds of fucking food. Did you notice that?
Do we look like we need it more than I certainly
fucking getting
don't,
fat, man.
Sure.
Fucking yeah.
But like I said, I do love French fries, so I do appreciate that. I really like Five Guys.
Yeah, Five Guys for hamburgers is about the best.
Now, do they have milkshakes? I don't think I've ever had a milkshake.
Yeah, I think they do. No, I don't know. I don't know.
They?
I think no. It's just soft drinks, and you got to serve your own.
Yeah.
They might have some shit like that.
I don't know.
Five Guys focuses on hamburgers and fries. They don't really go outside that, and that's the way you're supposed to do it.
They might have a hot dog.
They might, maybe, but
I don't know if they do.
I think it's hamburgers. They might have a chicken sandwich, and I think that's about it.
But see, that's
how you want to go.
I kind of feel like if you're gonna do that, then just like focus on like one thing or like a couple things, and just make those as good as possible.
The one we got here, right next to it, there's a fucking Cold Stone where you get the fucking ice cream.
Cold Stone Creamery.
Yeah.
We haven't been there in a long time. I think the last we went there like several years ago.
This is what we'll do when we go see Top Gun. We'll go do Five Guys and Cold Stone and all that first or after, one or two.
If I can eat all that, we'll see.
We'll do Five Guys.
Yeah. I mean, Cold Stone's good too. Like, I'm always down for ice cream, but after I eat at Five Guys, I'm always just kind of like, oh.
Yeah, Cold Stone will fuck you up.
I'm going to fall asleep. Well, Cold Stone, we went there one time. It was somebody's birthday. It was your birthday or my birthday.
Yeah.
And so we got like it was like like a brownie with ice cream and stuff like that.
Yeah. We
split it and we still couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
So that tells you something right there. I mean, it was a lot. Jeffy Art says, there's a Culver's by my parents' house. Their burgers are pretty good, and the frozen custard is phenomenal. Yeah, everybody talks about the frozen custard. But you'll find yourself waiting a solid 15 minutes at least. Yeah, I do kind of feel like that's sort of one of the ones, because I read like a lot of I read this blog called The Takeout, and they have a lot of stuff that I find really fascinating about different chains, like around the country, and sometimes they'll talk about ones that I'm like, I've never been there because we don't have it. And Culver's is one that a lot of people like talk about being like the best thing ever. But it's just kind of like Southerners talking about how Publix subs are way better than any of the other sub chains And I will die on that hill because that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I mean, we've, obviously Subway is passable as food. Jimmy John's is pretty good. I don't think Quiznos is around anymore. They were okay. What's the other one? Firehouse. Those are pretty good. I've only eaten there a couple of times. But Publix subs are divine.
Yeah,
They're so good.
Yeah, if you want a sub, you just go to the fucking grocery store. You go to Publix.
Go to their deli.
Go to the deli.
My favorite one is you get like the roast beef sub on multigrain.
It's that
bread.
big. It's that
and I
big.
always get spinach, tomatoes, banana peppers, little bit of oil and vinegar.
Yeah.
And little bit of cheese, little bit of mayo.
Right.
No mustard though.
And there's a bunch of different selections of meats. You could probably ask for
shit. It's so
you
good.
could probably ask for double meat too. There's probably all a bunch of different things that you can do.
Well, yeah, you can get whatever you want.
Sly is saying he was in on the DMZ in '86. Yeah, I didn't catch exactly what your MOS was. I was 11 Bravo. I was in infantry. I was my camp was Camp Greaves up beyond fucking Imjim River. So I was the most forward. I was at the most forward camp, the 1st and the 506. There was only one battalion out of our regiment at that time. 506 is now back with the 101st, and I think there's 2 more battalions now of the 506. But back in those days, we were the DMZ battalion, and our camp was right next to Camp Warrior Base, where our fucking, we called them tourists because they moved up there from the south, and they would do little 30 days there at the fucking Warrior Base. We lived right next to it. Camp Greaves. Camp Greaves is now, it was across fucking Imjim River Bridge. I checked all that shit out years back, man. My camp is now a fucking tourist fucking museum. Camp Greaves. It's still there, but it's just a museum. And they blew the bridge and everything. They got new bridges. I manned that bridge during one of the phases. Me and fucking Rock Army troops. I got some Rock Army stories. Motherfuckers trying to grab my ass and shit up there. Fucking, it wasn't just me. They fucking grabbed Tally's ass. Fucking black dude we knew, and fucking Tally beat one of them's ass for fucking grabbing his ass. Don't you ever fucking touch a black man's ass. You get your shit beat up. Those fucking Rock Army dudes didn't have any fucking limits. See, if they thought you were fucking cute or pretty, they'd try to grab your ass or something. I don't understand them. But they were hand-holding motherfuckers. You know how they were. Motherfuckers trying to hold hands all the time. Crazy bitches. Anyway, we had that fucking bridge totally fucking rigged with C4. So at a moment's notice, if an invasion happened, we were supposed to blow our own bridge so they couldn't come across it. So I did that for a while. Was at Guard Post Collier. Did patrol. And I did QRF. Did fucking Team Spirit, 1991, I think it was. Team Spirit. Bitch was fucking hell. And then did the year there, and then went to the 101st. First 327 Recon, and a recon platoon in the infantry. Did that for a while. And then I went to a line platoon after that. Because boloed out a fucking Ranger Indoctrination program for selection. Didn't pass the swim test. So they said, well, you can't be in a recon platoon if you can't pass, if you're not going to get a Ranger tab. It's just bullshit. So I just did my last 6 months. No, it was 16 months actually, more like 16 in Alpha Company, ABU. I went to MFO mission in Egypt. Did the Sinai mission. That was fun. And then got out and then ended up doing other things later on with I was a salesman for a while, and then I did some contracting for a while, and then I'm doing this, and did farming and ranching off and on, and in the horse industry. But now I'm pretty much retired. I got my VA check coming, so I don't really have to worry about it anymore. And we'll just see how it goes, man. Fucking, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I might get back into it. I don't know. We'll see. Good.
Lairdo Dude says, I had a sorry-ass birthday party at Howard Johnson's once.
Howard Johnson's.
That's a blast from the past. I had sorry-ass ones other places. I think
we got them here. We got Howard Johnson's here. They were good last time I went.
I don't think we have any anymore. I mean, I remember seeing one when I was a kid.
On the way back from fucking downtown, we used to pass Howard Johnson's all the time.
Johnson's?
After the Falcon. Coming back from the Falcon. Yeah.
Well, like, wait, the hotel or the restaurant?
No, it's not Howard Johnson. That was an IHOP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I haven't seen a Howard Johnson since I was little.
They had that orange roof.
I know.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was like a motor, like you.
Yeah, that's right. The only thing it was also an inn, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a restaurant.
It's like a motor lodge.
Yeah.
At a restaurant. Yeah.
Been a long time.
Like I said, I remember we had one in Daytona, and the last time I saw that was in the fucking 70s.
Yeah.
Or maybe early 80s.
The only thing that was good at Howard Johnson's was the fried clams.
Yeah, I remember liking them.
And I think they were known for that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of like their signature dish.
Yeah, those fried clams. You could get a fucking huge damn pile of them.
Fried clams. Yeah, I'll eat anything like from the ocean, pretty much. Gramthars says, Gramthar went to a Hooters in Durban, South Africa once. Exact same greasy food and flat beer as here. Oh, that's nice. It's a small world after all, isn't it? Yeah. Only difference was fruit bats were flying over the rooftop deck. Yeah, that's hilarious that they have fucking Hooters and stuff.
Yeah, Sly, if you served there in 86, how old are you? You must be late 50s, huh? Okay, go ahead.
Murder Hornet Return says, I hated Top Gun, but this trailer looks good. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the original Top Gun either, but it's, it looks good.
People say it's great.
Yeah, Rebecca said, you haven't seen Top Gun yet? You have to. It's wow.
Says it's great, yeah.
Gramthar says, Top Gun, seen it. Total Tom Cruise vanity project. Well, pretty much all of them
all are.
Exact same plot as Star Wars A New Hope. Fun as hell movie. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are saying it's Warrior's Journey and fucking Hero's Journey. And
yeah, I feel like a lot of movies have that same plot.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any of the spoilers because everybody's doing fucking spoiler reviews and they loved it. And I don't want to hear the spoilers. We'll go. We'll go.
Maybe we could go tomorrow.
We'll see how we go.
I mean, we could go tomorrow. If I'm not too hungover.
Okay.
Because, it's not like it's going to be super packed, maybe, because it's already been playing. Yeah, but it's already been playing, like a week or two.
We see it during the day. I want to see it in the Dolby Theater.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Obviously.
Okay.
Like I said, I still want to see that A24 movie, Men, too, because that looked fucked up. So I want to see that. But I'm sure it's probably going to be gone by the time we get there, but, I guess I'll have to wait for it.
They were still playing The Northman.
That's coming to Peacock.
Is it?
Like streaming. I don't know how much you're gonna have to pay to see it.
I'm just gonna wait for the Blu-ray.
But, well, yeah, you should probably buy that. Yeah, Gramthar said there actually wasn't much homoerotic stuff in Top Gun 2. That must have been an 80s thing. It definitely was an 80s thing. And the funny thing about it was that I don't know how aware they were of it. I think it's like a lot more homoerotic in hindsight. I think like during the 80s, people were kind of like aware, like maybe low-key aware of it, but it wasn't like now where everyone was like, holy shit, that is like the gayest thing that I've ever seen. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like people were thinking about it. It's almost kind of like, ooh, that's like so macho. I'm like, it's really not, but whatever. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, Linwood says I'm retired. Also, San Antonio, Texas. Crystals. Oh, yeah. Man, that brings back memories, too. Yeah, Crystals is kind of like... It's sort of like White Castle in the sense that you get these tiny little burgers and they come in little boxes and you get like a big sack of them. And I remember when I was a kid, we didn't really have a lot of fast food options like that close to where we lived. So usually... And we didn't have, like, a lot of money either. So usually if we were going to eat out or get something out, which was, like, a big deal because we hardly ever did it, we would either get pizza from this little mom-and-pop place that was only a couple miles away, which was called Pantheon, who made pretty much the best sausage and onion pizza I've ever eaten in my life, before or since. And I don't think they're there anymore, but I haven't been back to Daytona in a long time. But it was, like, a little mom-and-pop place. Or we would get Crystals. Like, my grandpa would go and get, like, a massive bag of, like, Crystals burgers and get them. And they have a very distinctive smell, Crystals do. And I don't know, I don't think I've ever had White Castle because I'm not sure. I don't think they have White Castle in Florida. Unless do we have White Castles here? I kind of feel like we have Crystals, which is kind of the same thing. I don't think it's
the same thing.
It's not owned by the same company, I don't think.
I thought it was. I think. Wait a minute. No.
Is it?
I think it. It was something where it broke into two. It is the same company, or it was.
Or
at
it
one
was
time.
at one point.
Right. Crystals is. I've had them both, and Crystals is the same. There's no difference.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it looks pretty much the same. Like I said, they come in the same little
product tastes
boxes.
exactly the same.
And the buns are steamed.
Yeah.
And it's just got like little
Right.
like onion pieces, like
Yeah.
little fried onion pieces.
Now
on the shit.
I'm gonna do exactly what Sly told me to do. And give you all an education, better than anything from fucking Harvard. All right. When somebody will look at White Castle and go, man, that's not a real hamburger. You don't know food history. White Castle was the original hamburger. They invented it.
Jeff Yard said there's supposed to be the world's largest White Castle in Orlando. Is there?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I don't know where it's at. Maybe it's on International Drive. I mean, that's like
Maybe.
kind of the tourist area, and I never go there, so I don't know.
The hamburger has come.
Now, the world's largest McDonald's
Yeah.
is in Orlando. I know that.
The hamburger has come very far in history. When it started, it was that White Castle burger. That's what they sold. Yeah, it was just.
Yeah, it was just like a little.
That's what
it's
it
like a
was.
little meat cracker.
Yeah, they had to hire doctors to stand outside there when it first opened it to let
Tell
everybody
you,
know
like,
that this is healthy, because they didn't know what ground beef. This is the very early 1900s, and they were smart. They put them in factory areas to try to get factory workers to come in there en masse to eat them, and in the day that was good nutrition because you had meat, bread, and vegetables, and the vegetables were pickles and ketchup. That was the vegetable. Okay.
I mean, technically.
That's
Well,
the-
no, I was going to say technically ketchup's not a vegetable because tomato's
It's
a
a
fruit.
tomato, right? But
Tomato's
that's
a fruit.
And
Technically.
you got to remember, there's not refrigeration at this time, and you had the Heinz company made a huge industry out of pickling and canning vegetables and then having them distributed all over the United States in these little general stores. And that was the vegetable supply for America. Fresh vegetables were something you only got at fairs, and out of your own family farm. But at the corporate mass level, it was Heinz that provided vegetables, because no refrigeration. So it was pickles and ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise out of a jar. And the mayonnaise was considered a topping, but it's like a protein because it was egg whites. So we look at those condiments and that's just something you add on to food. Back in the early 1900s, that was the food.
Well, now, technically, every time we got crystals, which we did a lot when I was growing up because it was one of the places that was close, all that was on there was the meat, the onions,
and the pickle.
And mustard. There was no ketchup, and there was no mayonnaise.
I didn't even think
I would add ketchup to mine.
Right.
But I think all it had on it was mustard.
I don't even remember mustard being on them.
I'm pretty sure there was
it was
mustard.
just onions and pickles.
It was just mustard, onion pickles. I'm pretty sure that's all that was on there. Because I would always add ketchup because I'm like, fuck them not putting any fucking ketchup on this shit. What are they thinking?
And the White Castle or Crystal bun is the original hamburger bun, which was nothing more than a dinner roll.
Yeah, like a steamed dinner roll.
Yeah. And the
It's all
innovation
soft
was
and squishy.
The innovation was to take ground beef and send it through a processing thing where they kind of pushed it through a little machine, and when it came out in little meat cracker patties that had holes in them and everything to speed up the rate at which it would cook. And they had a special griddle where the meat juices would come and run down at an angle and go into the side of the griddle that had all the diced onions and cook those. And then there was another place where they could put the buns on there. So it was like a big conveyor belt with these dudes working. And they could pump out a shit ton of fucking hamburgers to feed entire factories. So it was a well thought out system to feed as many people as possible with the best nutrition possible for the era. So kind of a modern marvel in a way. Well thought out.
Oracle says, Jenny, have you seen the series The Food That Built America? I don't think I have, but that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah,
they look at famous food companies' histories. So they talk about Heinz, White Castle, Kellogg's, all that kind of stuff. What is it on? Because I would totally watch that.
I think I've seen it.
I'm fascinated by food history. I find that like really, really interesting. Well, because everybody has to eat. So food like says so much about like the culture at large. You know what I mean? I love that kind of stuff. Murder Hornet says, I buy those frozen White Castle burgers. Still taste good. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had those actually. But yeah, they still said the frozen ones. White Castle are gut bombs, says Gramthars. But if there's a better hangover food, please share with the class.
Yeah, but they were good though. When you're drunk, you can eat all kinds of...
Isn't it interesting? I wonder why when you're drunk you always want something like that. I guess it's your body's like trying to like soak up the alcohol. Because like I said, when I'm drunk, all I want is like breakfast food, like eggs and pancakes and shit. Or like just I want something fatty. And they do tell you it's better to eat something fatty because it does help to like to soak up the alcohol, so you don't feel so shit the next day.
I says, "What time you're the man?" I don't know exactly what he's talking about. Must be talking about where I was.
Oracle says the first 2 seasons are on Hulu. Oh shit!
Okay.
I'm watching that. I'm watching that.
Yeah, Sly. I was stationed up. Hulu. I was stationed up on the DMZ. Alpha Company of my unit was stationed at Liberty Bell, and they took care of the places at Panmunjom where they did all the peace talks. So I knew those dudes too. Went to basic with some of them. I actually wasn't tall enough to get into Alpha Company. To go to Alpha Company, you had to be above 6 feet in that era. No shorties at Alpha Company. Because they were in that era, they were in a fucking arms race to see who was taller. All right? Because they were face to face with the North Koreans. So only South Koreans like 6 foot tall could be there, and only Americans 6 foot and above could be there. And they were trying to put the tallest North Koreans they could on the other side. Now, a tall North Korean was fucking 5'8", 5'10". I mean, those bitches are small, man. Small. They didn't have the nutrition. The idea was when you're standing there parade rest and looking over that line is to look down on them. You know. Then they didn't like that, so they wanted to fucking back us apart. So that way they're looking down, standing by the parade rest around those buildings and staring across them. The MDL going through the middle. It was wild.
John Gora says, haven't had any Wendy's in years, but I remember them being the superior burger joint for the times. Yeah, I always kind of liked Wendy's burgers, and I liked that they had baked potatoes, which the other fast food places didn't have. So you could get like a baked potato instead of French fries. Also, their Frosties are awesome. Leardo Dude says, I miss Arthur Treacher's. So do I.
I don't remember that one.
Arthur Treacher's, actually, when I grew up in Daytona Beach, we had a sit-down Arthur Treacher's restaurant. It's kind of like, it's a fish place, like fried fish, but it's like, I want to say it's like Long John Silver's, but it was like a classier version of that. It's kind of like with British pub sort of style branding. Yeah. So they had like these big plank fries and, big pieces of fish that were like fried in the batter and stuff like that. And I used to fucking love that place when I was a kid. And so, sometimes when I was a little kid, like on my birthday, I'd be like, I want to go to Arthur Treacher's. Last time I saw an Arthur Treacher was back in 2008, 2009 in the Orlando airport. They did have an Arthur Treacher's, like a kiosk that was like split with some other restaurant that I don't remember what it was, but I was like super jazzed. The food wasn't as good as I remember, but it was still like okay.
Now Oracle's talking about how savage Hines was. Yeah, he was. He was a robber baron, an oligarch. But we still got him. They're still doing that shit today. But he was like J.P. Morgan and all the other guys, fucking Carnegie. But he was the food dude. But it made sense. You know what I mean? They were trying to feed America as efficiently as possible and to bring products as many as possible to the deep, inaccessible regions of the United States. And it was going to take a robber baron / oligarch to do that. So that's just the way the Heinz were, especially in the pre-refrigeration era. Huge task. So it was all going to have to be jarred. And like you said, he put in buying up all the damn glass bottles and shit to get it done. He invented Mr. Heinz invented branding when it came to food. He would have sales. Back in the day, you wanted to be a Heinz salesman. Because you could just go up to a little mom and pop store and say, look, I'll tell you what. If you let me, I will put an aisle down your store, and I will stock your store 24/7, 7 days a week of all these fucking products, and we'll give you a cut. And it'll be beautiful. And they're like, yeah. So then they would come in and they would build a beautiful aisle with all this fucking branding and all these graphics and stuff. It was just a cut above the rest. And store owners wanted Heinz in their company, in their little mom and pop stores, because they would build you a beautiful aisle and keep that shit stocked. And if you were that salesman, it was your job to continue to go through your route and stock that place, and everybody getting a cut. And that was a system. It was like direct sales, you know. So they had guys were direct sales and regional. So your Heinz representative filling out the paperwork, trying to restock your shelves and shit. And as a store owner, you didn't have to do anything. That thing would just sit there and make money, like a vending machine. So it was a good way of doing it. Heinz truck would show up, and they made themselves a fucking fixture in the American culture of that era, because you'd see trucks going by with the beautiful Heinz, you know, fucking written on the side. It looked official and shit, you know. People could trust it. It came out of a damn Heinz jar. Pickle fucking onions and fucking broccoli and carrots, and then mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, relish, different kinds of relish. And one good thing about Heinz is that the people doing all the shit in the bottling were girls. He was one of the first company to give like really good jobs and good paying jobs to women. And they had little uniforms they had to wear, and it was pretty good working environment for the time. You know what I mean? It wasn't like sweatshop shit. It looked medical for the time. Everything was like medical and real. Because they had so much problems, such a bad reputation with fucking bad sanitation in the food industry. Heinz changed all that, so everything looked like a hospital when it was with Heinz. It kind of had a medical vibe to it, which good business, you know, changed the food industry.
DJ Maniac says, we only had a handful of Arthur Treachers here, and very briefly. Usually combined with another restaurant, Nathan's more than likely. Yeah, that's what it was. I don't know if it's there anymore. I haven't been to the Orlando airport in several years. But I remember the last time I ate at an Arthur Treachers was back in like the mid to late 2000s. And it was Arthur Treachers, and yeah, it was half that and half Nathan's as well. Buddy Data said, we have Sonic and Checkers, probably like Crystal. No, Crystal's is completely different. Crystal's is more like White Castle. As far as I know, all they have are those little bitty burgers, and do they have French fries? I don't know. They maybe have French fries. I don't know. But Checkers and Sonic are more like old school, like diner burgers and fries type shit. Yeah. We used to have a Checkers. I don't know if it's still there, but we used to have a Checkers like in Daytona. I used to like it because it was in this big parking lot that was near like a bookstore that I used to go to, and you could walk up to the window. It wasn't a drive-through window; it was a walk-up. They had a drive-through too, but they had a walk-up window, and I thought that was cool. And their burgers were pretty good. Their fries were pretty good. It was, it was good, and it was kind of cheap. And I think they had chicken sandwiches too. Sonic is pretty good, but I've only been there a couple times. I kind of feel like people go to Sonic more for their like drinks. Don't they have like those kind of all those like slushy kind of drinks with all those flavors and stuff? Like a lot of people are into that, seems like. But yeah, it's nothing like Crystal though. Crystal is more like White Castle.
Yeah, it is White Castle if you ask me.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
What sides do they have? Like, they're kind of just known for the burgers. I don't even know if they have anything other than that. They might have like some breakfast sandwiches on the same.
I'm pretty sure that Crystal's is White Castle. They were the same company at one point, and they're using the same strategy. It's the same product. I can't tell them apart.
I mean, I've never eaten at White Castle, so I don't know. I've only had Crystal.
I'd have to check history on it. But if I remember correctly, just off the top of my head, they were the same company at one point.
And then Murder Hornet says, we have an A&W and Long John Silver's combo store here. Yeah, I think we have some of those. Although, the one we have here, I think, is half Long John Silver's and half Taco Bell. Is it not?
Yeah.
Remember that one like over by the mall? I'm pretty sure that's half Long John Silver's and half Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And I actually think I went through the drive-thru there one time, and they didn't have the Long John Silver's menu that day. They're like, no, we're just doing Taco Bell today. And I was like, well, fuck you then.
Once you polish that off, and I'll make you another one.
Oh, okay. We using up the rest of the vodka?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We still got like an hour before we gotta go anywhere. And I still gotta like eat some dinner too.
Yeah.
Let's see. We used to have a delivery truck for Chips called Mr. Chips Delivery of Snacks. Yeah, we had those too. I remember those. Weren't they kind of like, I don't know, they weren't yellow, but they were kind of like beige, tan. It was like tan and black or something. Is that what you're talking about? I've seen those. Jack in the Box curly fries. Yeah, I really like curly fries. To be honest, I used to really like, I don't think they have these anymore, but back in the old days, at KFC, for a while, they had those big wedge French fries with the skin on them. And man, I love those. Like the planks. And I don't know what kind of fries they got at KFC now. I haven't eaten at KFC in I don't remember how long. But yeah, for a time, they had those big like those big plank fries with like the skin on them. And I really like those. I kind of wish that more restaurants would make those, but they don't really have them. You just have like kind of like skinny bullshit fries, or sometimes that's good. I don't know. All French fries are pretty good. DJ Maniac says, my brother and I went to Sonic a few times. He completely missed the point. He'd get the order to go and then stink up my apartment with whatever he ordered. Dude, it's an atmosphere. I think I've only eaten at Sonic. Have I ever eaten at Sonic now that I'm thinking about it? I think I might have gone through the drive-thru or whatever like one time and gotten a drink from there, like when I was with a friend. But I don't know. We have a few of them around here, but I don't think I've ever eaten at one now that I'm thinking about it. It's possible I might have, and I just didn't remember. So, I don't know. Yeah, Bundy Daddy said we have Krispy Kreme. If red light is on means donuts are hot. Oh, yeah. Krispy Kreme. I love Krispy Kreme. We used to have one where I grew up. There was a Krispy Kreme. It's probably still there. It was there last time I was in Daytona, but that was like a little while back. It was in not the greatest neighborhood. It wasn't in a terrible neighborhood, but it was like an iffy neighborhood. But it had been there since I was born, maybe before I was born. It's this tiny little Krispy Kreme just on the corner of these two big, roads. And every time we drove past there, because you had to drive past there to like go to the mall and like go to the college and shit like that. And if that light was on, you can fucking bet that I was like pulling into that I was pulling into that parking lot and getting one donut.
That's the last one, okay? But
Okay.
I realized that downstairs I have that daiquiri.
Well, I don't want to drink anymore.
Okay.
Because like I said, we got to go out later.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to Krispy Kreme and when their hot donuts now sign is on, if you go in there and get one of you have to get like the glazed donuts. No, like all their other donuts are pretty good too, but like the only ones that are good like right out the oven are just the plain glazed ones. And you eat it and it's almost kind of like cotton candy. It just like dissolves in your mouth. It's like because it's like really hot and really sugary and it's really, really good.
Talking about fast food, and we got fucking a bigger crowd than normal just sitting here listening.
Everybody loves. Well, see,
everybody loves food.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody has to eat,
food,
so everyone can relate.
Yeah.
Everybody has opinions.
Yeah.
On what kind of food is good. Because, like I said, it's relatable.
Yeah.
I mean, most people have eaten at fast food places, but everybody eats food, and everybody's got opinions about food.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Yeah, it was a beige metal canister. That's right. Yeah, I remember it. I remember. The hot light. Yeah, man, I haven't had Krispy Kreme in a long time. I love donuts, but
Krispy Kreme's good. I could eat a whole pack of them fuckers.
I could too, probably.
The fresh ones, just say.
I'm not proud of that, but I'm sure.
They don't weigh anything. There's not much mass there.
That's what I mean.
You just fuck.
I mean, the glazed ones.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, maybe that's what I'd do if I was on death row. I'm just like, bring me a dozen
those fucking
hot Krispy Kremes, and I'm just gonna sit there and eat every fucking one.
Although.
I wonder how many calories that is.
It's been a long time since I've done it. Yeah, I could go to Dunkin' Donuts, fucking pull in there and get a cup of coffee and fucking eat probably half a dozen donuts. The fucking fancy ass donuts with all the fucking.
I could too. Like I said, I'm not proud of that.
Let me get a cherry donut with the cherry cream frosting on the top with the sprinkles. The shit little kids will eat, I'll eat the fuck out of those.
I will too.
I'll eat the fuck out of.
I'm not proud. I love
chocolate
donuts.
eclairs. And
I haven't had a donut in
creams.
forever because I'm always kind of like every now and then. Like sometimes I'll be working in the morning. I'm like, God, I wish I had a donut. But I'm too lazy to like go drive. I don't even know where you could get a donut around here.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than the grocery store, I don't know. I'm sure there's like a Dunkin' Donuts or something around here, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So I'm too lazy to go get it, and I'm just like, no, I better not, because I feel like if I get one donut, then I'm gonna get a bunch of donuts. I'm gonna get like 6 or 12 of them, and I'm gonna eat every fucking one.
I'm fucking bad. I mean, I'll eat the Boston creams, the fucking eclairs, with the fucking custard and shit, and then turn right around and eat a blueberry donut with cherry frosting on it, just like shit like a little kid would eat. I'd eat that too. I'll just like.
Now I will say I'm not
have
okay.
A strawberry donut.
As far as donuts go, and like I'm not hating because all donuts are good.
Jelly
donuts. All donuts are good donuts. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn down any donut. I don't care what it is. But I do have some kind of like favorite ones. I'm not a huge fan of the ones with fruit in the middle. Although I do like the ones that are like apple in the middle.
Yeah.
I do like the apple fritter type ones.
Yeah, I like those.
If I'm going to get one, I really like the Boston creams.
Yeah.
I really like Dunkin' Donuts I don't know if they still do, but they used to make one that was like a powdered donut that had like a white buttercream inside.
What about maple bars? Remember those?
Maple bars.
Maple bar.
Those are good. Woo. Crullers are good.
Yeah.
Like I said, pretty much all of them
That's
are
some
good.
old school shit, maple bar.
Yeah, all of them are. Well, maple anything is like pretty delicious. But I'm not a
Put some bacon on it.
I'm not a big fan of ones that have fruit in the middle, but I'll eat them. I'm not picky. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a huge fan of like the chocolate donuts. I don't mind if they have like chocolate icing on them. Yeah. But you know the ones that are like all chocolate, like chocolate cake donuts?
Yeah, those are good too.
They're okay, but that's not my favorite. Like I would pick something else before I would pick that. You know what I'm saying? But man, now I want donuts.
Yeah, no, you're fucking me up. Now, some of our British listeners be like, wait a minute, hold on, what the fuck is a jelly donut? Because for them, jelly means Jello. Does not have Jello.
Oh God, don't put Jello inside donuts. You'd ruin it.
It's jam. It's a fucking big puffy white donut with glaze on the outside of it, with like usually like raspberry jam in the middle. Usually it's raspberry. Oh God, hell yes. With icing sugar, powdered sugar on the outside. Oh man, real good.
Oracle says, I miss donuts, stupid diabetes.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, God damn it. And I'm just kind of like I said, I don't have diabetes that I know of, but I just feel like I really, really want one sometimes, but I'm just kind of like, man, if I get off my ass and go all the way to get donuts, then I'm not just going to get one donut. I'm going to get... I mean, maybe if I was just like walking around somewhere and saw a donut place and it was like breakfast time or whatever, then I would just go in there and get one, but... If I'm gonna drive and go get them, then I'm gonna get like a fucking dozen.
Jeffrey said today is National Donut Day, so we can talk about
That's right. Yeah, somebody mentioned that earlier. Maybe that's what we just subconsciously like remembered that.
We're talking about apple fritters and all that shit.
God, apple fritters are so good.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say is when I was in the UK, my ex-husband's grandma, one time when I was over visiting her, she made a whole bunch of like apple fritters from scratch. And holy shit, those were so good. Oh my God, they were delicious. Man, apple fritters.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Rebecca said, I'm a cinnamon sugar donut person. Those are good too. I mean, cinnamon sugar, anything. Honestly, I really like just like cinnamon sugar toast.
I remember being a little kid with Mom taking me to Dunkin' Donuts or Winchell's. I don't remember. I think it might have been Dunkin' or Winchell's. I don't remember. And they had the damn Halloween donuts. Remember with the orange frosting?
Yeah. I like their seasonal donuts at Dunkin' Donuts. It's cool to like go with. Well, I like Halloween everything because as soon as they start putting Halloween shit out or like fall shit out, like it always just makes me really happy. Even though it's still hot here, but like I'll go in the store and be like, "Yay! Like summer's almost over," because I hate summer. Yeah. So, and that was one of the things. You'd go in Dunkin' Donuts and like all the donuts would be like, we got like, you know, green witchy icing on it and like orange icing on there, and it's like that was like.
Mr. 88 says, I've always wondered why Apple has a monopoly on the fritter medium.
Right.
It doesn't. You could do whatever you wanted. It's just that's a popular one. So
that just seems like the most popular.
Yeah, and apples are cheap. You know what I mean? But you could easily make a berry one, like a blackberry or raspberry fritter. You could do all that. You just want to use, when you're talking about mass marketing, you're talking about you have to serve the entire United States, okay, with these companies. That's a fucking huge market. So it has to be dumbed down quite a bit. And apple, orange. There's your two fucking fruits. Those are just everywhere. Banana. Okay. Bleh. And banana wouldn't make a fritter. Orange wouldn't make a fritter. So you're left with apple. Chocolate. Like chocolate chips. That would make a fritter. If you want something like berries, blueberry would be a good one because
cherry
it would hold together. Cherry would hold together.
I mean, cherry anything's pretty
Raspberry
good.
And blackberry would hold together in that process. But that would be specialty stuff. You'd have to go to a fucking mom pop donut place, and there's not many of those. So that means you got to make it yourself. But if you made it yourself, it'd be great. A strawberry is too fragile. Okay, it couldn't survive the process once you cut it up, and then it wouldn't be very impressive or tasty. If you have strawberries, you might as well turn that into a jam and use that as a filling in a fucking powdered donut. And when you have a jelly donut, really what it is it's a beignet. It's a beignet that's been stuffed with fruit filling. So there's limitations as to what fruit you can use for something like a fritter, because it's just kind of mixed in there at random and exposed to the fucking deep frying process. See? So it's got to be something that has a skin on it that holds together and been small enough to where you can take a bite. Now an apple doesn't have a skin on it, but it's okay. It can be cubed and it's strong enough to where it won't disintegrate in the frying process. So all that shit's got to be part of the factor. Another thing that would be good would be like fucking cubed up pieces of fucking carrot, like carrot cake. If it was fucking seasoned right, if it was candied carrot.
Man, a carrot cake donut.
A carrot cake donut would work. Fucking right it would.
I wonder if anybody's made that. I mean, I'm sure somebody has.
Pulled it out of my ass.
I mean, I'm sure, like, I've had carrot cake cupcakes, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, at cupcake shops.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen a carrot cake donut. I'm sure somebody's made that, because you can make cake donuts.
You could dice up a carrot and fucking candy it, okay, in a fucking, in sugar, and put that in a fritter and cook it. But make the fritter like carrot cake when it makes the thing. With pieces of carrot in it, that would be good. I'd have to figure it out. You'd have a lot of errors. It would take several tries until you found the right.
I'd be very surprised if somebody hadn't made one of
little
those.
Baby carrots. You know little baby carrots?
Yeah.
Because that's the consistency kind of like an apple. What else will work?
Sly's talking about lemon donuts, and I was like, oh yeah, that's another one that Duncan Donuts has that I like. They do like the powdered sugar donuts, but it has like lemon curd inside. Those are also very good, because I like lemon anything.
Now in the South, we had a cake, my grandmother, and this goes back to great-grandparents and everything. I'm sure that's also probably in soul food, and it's probably up north too. It was these lemon butt cakes. And it's this round, like a big, giant round. It's got a hole in the middle.
Pretty sure we put that in the cookbook.
It's in the cookbook with lemon icing on it, and it's a fucking like an angel food cake. And that right there is a Mississippi donut. That's a Southern donut. You just get a slice of that. And it's a real moist, heavy cake with lemon icing on it. And that's just good as fuck. Now, Sly, did your family make those? I don't know if they made those lemon bundt cakes. Damn, they were good.
I'm a big fan of lemon cake.
Yeah, that's probably in soul food too.
I mean, and lemon cake is good. I'm trying to think of like all
they were easy to make and they were fucking delicious.
Like all the cakes that I liked when I was a kid. Lemon cake probably up there. I think you know I know this is weird, but like one of my favorite things, what I would usually ask for my birthday when I was a little kid, for my mom to make was marble cake, which was like the marbled like vanilla and chocolate together. That was good too.
I'm gonna get that. You know what? I don't have a bundt pan. I'm gonna get a bundt cake pan. I'm gonna make that.
Okay.
I'm gonna make that. I haven't made that since I fucking lived in Mississippi, but I'm gonna make that.
Oracle says, Tom, you know the ultimate Southern dessert is divinity. Oh my God, me and my mom made that a couple times.
Ambrosia. Okay, another one would be.
Although they have that in the Midwest too.
What about cocoons?
Yeah.
Cocoons. They look like little fucking. They look like little cocoons. All right, they're made out of fucking pecans, and it's kind of a fucking cookie, and they're covered in powdered sugar, and they're real buttery. Butter cocoons. That's the one. Did I put that in the cookbook?
I don't think so.
Yeah, should have. That's an advanced one. Cocoons.
Murder Hornet says Mexicans put lemon on everything. See,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. I love lemon.
Well, lemon adds zest to anything. It's good. It'll make any.
Well, it's a flavor enhancer.
It's a flavor enhancer. It'll make any fruit taste more intense. It'll make strawberry taste more like strawberry. Lemon's great on any meat. It's good in anything. It's like the MSG of Central and South America.
And then Sly's talking about lemon meringue. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love lemon meringue pie. And I like lemon meringue pie better than key lime pie. Key lime pie is good too, but I like lemon meringue better. Yeah. Like I said, lemon anything, like lemon dessert anything, yeah, I'm all about that.
Okay.
Really,
now,
really
Linwood said they didn't have the lemon butt cake that they used in his family, lemon meringue cake.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know that one. I can imagine.
Was it the cake or the pie?
Well, no, I don't know lemon meringue cake. He says it's lemon meringue cake, right?
Yeah, because I've made lemon meringue pie before.
I had to look that one up.
But maybe, and yeah, lemon bars. Oh yeah, my grandma made lemon bars sometimes.
Yeah, that's a southern thing
like
too.
a little bit of like powdered sugar on the top.
Lemon bars is kind of like a smaller, faster version of fucking key lime pie.
Yeah.
But it's more like a candy bar, but not really. More like a lemon the key lime pie.
Another thing that we put in the cookbook that my grandma used to make all the time was gooey butter cake.
Yeah.
Now I've also heard it called ooey gooey butter cake.
Yeah.
But that shit, man, we used to me and my cousins used to nag her to make it because she would always be, oh, it's so hard to make. Well, it's not really, but she would say that because she didn't want to make it. So we would try to get her to make it. She always made it for Christmas, but a lot of times we try to get her to make it for Thanksgiving too because it was so good. But it's so rich that you could really only eat. Okay. I mean, even a little chubby kid like me could only eat one piece.
That's a lemon meringue cake. That looks good.
Oh my God, that looks
amazing. Really good. Okay.
I want to eat that right now.
Yeah.
I could just stuff that whole thing right in my face.
Is it focusing?
No, it's not.
That's lemon meringue cake. Okay. See if I can get an internal shot.
I mean, I feel like I've watched a lot of those, baking competition shows. Oh my God, that looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look good.
I've watched all those baking competition shows and stuff like that. I mean, cake technology has come a long way since the old days. They make all kind of shit nowadays, and I'm all about it. I love that kind of shit. I don't eat it that much because I can't. You know what I mean? I'll get fat or fatter. So it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? But I've been a big dessert whore my whole life, but I just really have to stay away from it because if I eat it all the time, I'll get used to it, and I'm just kind of like, oh, I want it every day, so I can't.
That is cocoons, and then in front of it, it's got it opened up and broken up right there, so you can see what's inside. It's a cookie. It's a pecan cookie, kind of like a pecan sandy.
It almost looks like an Italian wedding cookie.
Yeah, I never had those.
A little bit.
I never had those.
Which has powdered sugar on the outside.
It's like a pecan. It's like a pecan sandy.
Ooh, those are good.
Covered in powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Shaped kind of like
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I love pecan sandies.
Yeah.
Those are Keebler's makes those, right? Keebler
Yeah,
makes those?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah.
I love those. My favorite cookies growing up were pecan sandies and Lorna Doones.
Yeah.
Which are shortbread, in case you didn't know. Murder Hornet says, in Mexico they sell elote, am I pronouncing that right? Which is corn on the cob smeared with mayo, sprinkled with chili powder and cheese.
That would work.
Sounds gross, but that does not sound gross.
That does not sound
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds really good. That doesn't sound gross in the slightest.
Yeah.
Fried corn on the cob, I have had that. That's that's really, really good. Really good. The Norse Nut says, have you watched that horrible Is It Cake show on Netflix? I've been I've heard about it, and I'm kind of I watched the trailer, and I'm kind of that. I love all the cake shows, where they, Cake Wars and all that kind of stuff, where they make cakes with, themes and stuff. I love that shit. And so I was kind of man, that looks like something I would watch, but the trailer looked like it would probably just, annoy the shit out of me, so I haven't watched it yet. But I probably will at some point because anything to do with cake, I'm just fascinated with it. So I don't know why, but Oracle says, I have a great lemon zest thyme chicken recipe. Yeah, see, lemon is good on anything like that. Lemon curd and sweet pastry cups, also good. Also good. Yeah, lemon curd's good in anything. Like I said, they put it in the middle of donuts. I'll eat that. Lemon's really good. That's kind of like an exception to the rule. I don't know. I don't think it's a rule that I have, but donuts, pastry, stuff like that, I usually prefer, and it's the same with ice cream. If it's a dessert, I usually prefer stuff that's like not fruit flavored. I usually like chocolate or nuts or cinnamon or hazelnut or whatever it is. But I do like apple stuff, I do like lemon stuff, and I do like cherry stuff. So anything to do with those three. Other than that, like other things like peaches, berries, stuff like that, it's on a case-by-case basis. Because a lot of times I'll eat it, but it's like not my favorite. I will say though, okay, one thing I will say, I'm not a big fan of mangoes. Again, I'll eat them, but it's not my favorite. They taste a little perfumey to me. However, we have an Indian restaurant here in Central Florida. It's in Lake Mary, called Memories of India, and they make their own mango ice cream, and that shit is delicious. It is so fucking good. And I don't even like mangoes all that much, but that shit is so fucking good. I don't know what they do to it, like to make the mangoes not taste like perfume, but it's just like it's so like creamy and rich. Oh, it's fantastic. It's really, really good, and they make it in house too. Really, really good. And that's pretty much, they only have 2 desserts there. It's either rice pudding or mango ice cream. So I always get the mango. They just give you like a little bowl, like a little frozen bowl. Yeah. And it's like, man, that's good. And I don't even, like I said, I don't even like mangoes.
Yeah, she doesn't like rice pudding, so I fucking make rice pudding. I got so much fucking rice here.
Well, see, that's okay, because if you make dessert and you make something that I'm not super, because
she's not gonna eat it. Yeah.
Well, because the thing about it is, like, I feel like I can't eat a lot, and I can't eat a lot of desserts. So if I'm gonna eat a dessert, it better be something really, really good that I really, really want. So if it's just something that I'm not all that enthused about, then it's like easy for me to go, nah.
I found a fucking easy way to make Indian rice pudding. First thing you do is you make a bunch of rice. Now, I use the cheapest rice I can get, and that's fucking Sam's Club rice. Get that shit in fucking 25-pound bags, man. Back in the day, it was fucking nothing. You cook that rice, 2 cups of it. Then you take a frying pan. Take about half a stick of butter, put it in there and fucking melt it. Throw a fucking big old long fucking cinnamon stick in it, 3 cloves, and some cardamom pods. It's Indian spices. And sit there and just kind of lightly fry them spices until that butter gets dark. Take the rice, throw the fucking spiced butter on it, throw the spices away if you want, and then put milk in it, powdered milk. I use powdered milk, Nido, because it's easier to control the thickness. It's probably, in 2 cups of rice, probably about a cup of milk, maybe half a cup. But you want it thick like cream, and some vanilla, and just mix it. If it's too thick, add a little bit of water. Let it sit overnight. Come back the next day. Put that into a tall glass, like a wine glass for a sundae or something, like an ice cream sundae. Put it in there. Let it chill in the refrigerator. Take it out. Whipped cream on it. Sprinkle a little bit of damn powdered cinnamon on the fucking top of the whipped cream for garnish, and eat that. Oh man, that shit's so good. Tastes like a spicy, kind of an spicy fucking creamy rice pudding. Let's see who's gonna. Myrna Hornet said that he had a Filipino girlfriend that got him some corn ice cream. It was good. Yeah, they had corn. They have green corn ice cream in Brazil. Really good.
That'd probably be good.
Yeah,
I mean, corn's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
That would work.
Well, they sweeten it even more.
Yeah.
But it's green corn. Milho verde. Fucking green corn. Yeah, it's good. You wouldn't know. It doesn't taste like corn. It just...
I mean, even if it did, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Tasted like pistachio ice cream, kind of.
Again, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Wendy Graham says, y'all should start a cooking special here on YouTube, making me hungry over here.
Well, we did. We had that for a while.
I mean, we did like a few episodes like instead of matinee shows, but we just, I don't know.
Yeah. Remember we got a cookbook.
Yeah.
So put it all in the cookbook. The cook was funny too.
Because we end up like talking about fucking
I
food
dictated the cookbook fucking directly to Jen. And fucking...
Yeah, I just recorded him talking, and then I just kind of like typed out what he said.
I talk all kinds of shit in the cookbook. It is funny though.
John Gore says devil dogs were the bomb as a kid. They still got those. Did they still have devil dogs? I remember those. They weren't they because kind of like they were about that long and they were chocolate with like kind of white like stuff inside, like white icing or something.
I got fool's gold in the cookbook, that was Elvis's favorite fucking sandwich, which is a fucking loaf of French bread, an entire jar of fucking peanut butter, an entire jar of grape jam, and bacon on a thing of fucking toasted fucking French bread.
As one does.
As one does. And it was called Fool's Gold. Now, do I expect you to eat that? No.
Please don't eat
Do not eat that. That was just. I
mean, you can. I mean, live your life, but we're not advising it.
I included that to let you know, fucking, that's what Elvis ate. But if you try to make fool's gold, don't make it in that portions, okay?
Well, I mean, you could make it and then like just have a little bit at a time.
Just make a normal toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich and put a couple slices of bacon on it.
Yeah, I mean that's not hard. You don't have to make a whole like fucking loaf out of the shit.
Right.
That's just like flexing at that point.
He's flexing. Yeah, Elvis was flexing when he did that. Oh,
why am I doing this? Because I can.
Yeah.
It was like that. Yeah, I kind of feel like.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, so it's 8:20.
So it's about time.
We should probably get the fuck
Okay, and I'm
here,
gonna I'll heat up some food. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Because we need to like have some food. I need to put on the rest of my outfit.
Okay.
It's mostly done,
yep.
but I had to put on the rest of my outfit, and we're gonna head out this evening and do some dancing and shit like that. So hopefully you guys had a good time hanging out with us, talking about food like we usually do. We'll be back on Sunday, probably talking about a movie, but I don't know which one we're going to talk about. Whatever we end up watching tomorrow night will probably be what we're going to talk about. Like I said, I kind of wanted to finish up. Well, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I started season 4 of Stranger Things. I watched the first 4 episodes, so I still got 3 left, I think. But I don't know. We probably won't talk about that because Tom doesn't give a shit about it. But we'll talk about a movie on Sunday. So thank you, everybody, for dropping by this evening. Thanks for Super Chats. And you guys have a good weekend, and we will see you on Sunday afternoon. Bye.